a double knock on there.
Yeah, I think he's calling it a knock back from the Sharks, saying it went straight through the legs. And
it will be a Sharks ball.
Sharks ball. So
because it was knocked on by Crichton coming through, dived on the loose ball, couldn't control it, down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, right call by the referee. This means it's the fourth set in a row for the Sharks attacking the Bulldogs try line. Can they get across the stripe this time?
So no score, Stadium Australia. The Sharks and the Bulldogs. Ball about to be put into the scrum by Atkinson. He's 10 metres out as it comes back now. Left side it goes. Ball taken forward a couple of metres there by Mulatalo. Mulatalo is going to be caught. He's only 5 metres out. Brayley and acting hard. Right hand side of the field it goes. Atkinson looks on his outside. Ball taken forward by Ferocious Blake. He's caught. He's only 5 metres out. He holds his face, believing there that he may have been hit hard and high. Well, he gets up and plays it back now. He's 5 metres out. Right side it goes to Brayley, to Hines. Hines is caught. Salmon was on him and put him down 19 metres out. Right side it goes now. Rudolph takes it forward. Couldn't get his arm free. Nice tackle made there as he comes up and plays it back now. 10 metres out as it goes to Hines, to Kennedy. Right side there. Kennedy managed to get the pass away. Intercepted by Curran. So Curran has it. Curran's caught. And the referee has given a penalty here to the Bulldogs, a relieving penalty for them. As the ball was floated over the top, Curran has come up with possession. Double tackle on him as they tried to put him into touch, and so the penalty goes to the Bulldogs. 19 metres out, a couple of metres in from touch. No score here at Stadium Australia. The Bulldogs and the Sharks.
Yeah, well, you nailed it, Timmy. It was dragged over the sideline after the call had been made, and pretty smart there from Curran. I think he just gave himself up and let the Sharks drag him over the sideline, knowing that play was complete, or the tackle was called complete. It'll get them out of their own end. It's some really desperate defence there from the Dogs defending their own line.
Burton takes the tap, charges into the defence. He's caught 15 short of the halfway. Now they push it down the blind to Kickow. And Kickow gets his arms free, gets the pass away, loose on the ground. Ball is dived on there by Marnie. Referee said it went backwards. 11 short of the halfway as it comes infield. This is King. King is caught. He's just a couple of metres short of the halfway. He gets up and plays it back now. It's Marnie at acting hard. Right hand side of the field now. It goes to Salmon through the hands. Ball taken forward now. Preston with a run. And Preston over the halfway. He gets up and plays it back. He's 42 metres out. Left hand side of the field. Tracy tries to inject himself into the game. Tracy's caught. He's 35 metres out. Bulldogs left hand side of the field it goes. Here comes the kick from Hayward. High in the air. No real pressure though on the left hand side of the field. Ball is taken comfortably there by Katoa. And the score remains 0-0. The Sharks and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, no pressure coming through because they didn't have enough time. It was just a little bit of a pop kick there from Hayward, and obviously not the general kicker. They got Burton, and they've usually got Sexton formerly, but Galvin out there as well. So just didn't quite get it right, but the defence from the Bulldogs is rushing up and really putting the pressure on the Sharks.
Okay, so it is the Sharks with possession at the moment. They have the ball 21 metres out from the right line as the ball comes infield now. What can the Sharks do here? They have possession as the ball is taken forward by Ferocious Blake. Ferocious Blake is caught. He's 21 short of the halfway. Gets up and plays it back. Right side it goes now. Here comes the kick from Atkinson. Wobbly old kick. Montoya takes it comfortably. Comes up to the halfway. Beats the first line. He beat the tackle there. Far side of the field from Burns. Eventually put down though. Now it goes to Burton. Burton injecting himself into the game as well. He's over the halfway. No score at Stadium Australia. The Bulldogs and the Sharks. And the Bulldogs with possession, 35 metres out now as the ball is about to be played back. It's a Bronson Cherry playing no further part in this game after suffering concussion inside the first 5 minutes as Crichton has the ball now from Galvin. And Crichton is caught, gets up and plays it back 29 metres out. Infield it comes to Salmon through the hands now. Kick out, ball is tapped down though. Tapped down on the far side of the field by Katoa as they look to get something going on the left side attack there. The Bulldogs score remains at 0-0. The Bulldogs will get possession though because it was a knock on by the Sharks. No score Bulldogs and the Sharks. Let's go down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, just an update there. Just to let you know that Matt Burton's gone to left centre and Hayward's gone into the halves in that replacement of the Bronson Sherry. So Matt Burton certainly stepped up straight away, carrying the ball with great intent.
So the Bulldogs with a scrum feed, 31 metres out as it goes to Hayward now, to Galvin, back on the inside. Preston takes it forward, and Preston is caught. He's 29 metres out. He gets up and plays it back. Right side it goes now. King takes it forward. And King is caught. He gets up and plays it back. He's 21 metres out. Left side it goes now. Bulldogs on the attack through Salmon. Goes through the hands to kick out. Galvin with a nice pass there. 11 metres out. Kickout's caught comfortably though. 11 metres out. Again it goes to Salmon. Gets his arm free. Gets the pass away to Galvin. Wide it goes now from Crichton. Back on the inside. Ball is taken forward a couple of metres there by Tala. The replacement winger, of course, coming in for Karaz this week as it goes wide now. It goes to Preston. And then it goes to Curran. And Curran's almost through. Left side it goes now to Hayward. Hayward with a long pass. Left-hand side of the field. An opportunity for Montoya in the corner. Ball comes back to Burton. Try! Try below. No try. The referee has blown his whistle.
He's called a penalty for a high shot in the corner there.
High shot in the corner.
I think it was Will Kennedy was coming across. I'm not sure who else was supporting him there. But they get it all the way to their left. The Bulldogs, beautiful hands from Matt Burton on the end to Marcelo Montoya. It's actually Nico Hines with the high shot. He's gone out and thrown it forward. So it's the right call there from the penalty, from the referee, the high shot from Nico Hines.
Matthew on the sideline.
100% there. Both teams showing great defensive prowess, but that's probably the most threatening attacking play we've seen this game. And as Dean pointed out, the skill set there from Matt Burton was sublime.
And so Montoya with the ball, takes the tap, goes himself. Montoya's caught. He's only a couple of metres out from the Sharks line. No score. The Sharks and the Bulldogs as the ball comes back now. And it goes to Hayward. Wide it goes to King. King takes it forward. King is caught. He's only 9 metres out. Stands in the tackle. Bulldogs chant goes up. Marty, left side it goes now to Salmon. Goes behind a couple of players. Dived on by Kickout. He has it 19 metres out. He gets up and plays it back now. Burton at acting half. Burton with a short pass now to Salmon. Salmon goes himself. And Salmon is caught. He's only 11 metres out. Bulldogs on the attack. Sharks defending well as the ball comes back now to Curran. Wide it goes to Galvin. Preston gets his arm free. Gets the pass away. Loose on the ground. Not forward by Crichton. It went forward from Crichton. And so this is great scrambling defence from the Sharks. Enterprising attack from the Bulldogs. Ball has come off the fingertips there of Stephen Crichton. And so it will be a scrum. Sharks scrum feet, no score. The Bulldogs and the Sharks.
Yeah, we've noted again, it was beautiful movement to their right. The Bulldogs, and Stephen Crichton is such a weapon on that edge, especially when Jacob Preston's creating a bit of space and some opportunity. It was a quick offload from Preston. Unfortunately, Crichton couldn't handle it, knocked it forward. And equally, you're right with the Sharks and their scrambling defence as well.
So the Sharks with possession as we go down to the sideline. Matthew.
The intensity of this game is really picking up, and as I said, we're probably seeing more defensive prowess than attacking prowess, but the pressure that each team's putting on each other is very difficult to allow you to play any open footy.
Katoa took the tackle there as it came back from Brayley. They have possession here. The Sharks. Iro is tackled 25 short of the halfway. It comes infield now. Ball is taken forward by Mulatolo. And Mulatolo's caught no score. Sharks and the Bulldogs. So the ball comes back now. And this is Rudolph. Can't get his arm free. Yes, he can as the ball goes behind. Picked up by Atkinson on the first bounce. Looks for runners. The passes there to Mulatolo. A little bit flat-footed, but Mulatolo, crossfield he goes, and he's caught 11 short of the halfway. Gets up and plays it back to Brayley as it comes back now to Hines. Last tackle under pressure. Gets a kick away. Tracy is back there. Bursts onto the ball, and Tracy's caught 15 short of the halfway. And so the Bulldogs on the attack. A little bit of field position here as it comes now from Galvin. Looks for runners. Ball is taken forward a couple of metres here. And this is Tala. Tala plays it back. Left side it goes to Galvin. And Galvin through a half gap. He's caught 45 metres out. And he gets up and plays it back now. And from dummy half. Right side it goes to Crichton. Crichton can't get his arm free for the offload. And he's tackled. And he's 31 metres out. Left-hand side of the field now. It goes to Salmon to Galvin with a short pass to kick out. Gets a pass away. Left side of the field to Burton. Burton throws the ball behind him. And it's dived on by Hines. Again, the movement breaking down for the Bulldogs. 20 metres out from the Sharks line. No score. The Bulldogs and the Sharks.
Yeah, it is breaking down, but when they go to their left, the Bulldogs, they're having a bit of joy. They're forcing the Sharks to try and make some decisions to solve it, and often it's Katoa coming in, trying to shut it down. If they can persist with that and execute well, there is going to be some joy for the Dogs.
Iro takes it forward now. Sharks with possession. 15 short of the halfway as it goes now to Atkinson. Takes it forward. Atkinson's caught. He's only 9 short of the halfway. Gets up and plays it back. Sharks with possession as the ball comes back now. 11 metres short of the halfway. It goes to Hines. Hines thumps it downfield again to Montoya. Montoya looks for support. Goes himself. And Montoya's caught. 21 short of the halfway. Bulldogs with possession. No score. The Bulldogs and the Sharks here at Stadium Australia as we go down to Matthew on the sideline.
Yeah, well, Bulldogs dominating field position, but this is definitely being played at semi-final intensity early in this game.
All right, so the Bulldogs with possession now as it comes back, kick downfield. Back there is Kennedy, takes it comfortably. Gee, almost an opportunity there for the Bulldogs to get the ball back, but Kennedy took it well. 11 metres out from his own line. So the Bulldogs and the Sharks locked it 0-0 here at Stadium Australia in the AFL in the elimination final. The Gold Coast Suns 10 leading Fremantle 6 earlier today. Hawthorn eliminated the GWS Giants 107-88. Full time in the NRLW. The Bulldogs 24 defeating the Sharks 14. In the New South Wales Cup, the Dragons 24 lead Parramatta 8. Ball comes back now. And Rudolph. Downfield he goes. Flung to the turf though. 41 metres out. Ball comes infield. Look for Hines. Here he is. High kick. Again, spiralling kick. Back there again is Montoya, who takes it comfortably. Bumps into Burton, but gets the pass away to Tracy. And Tracy searches for a gap. It's going to close though. And Connor Tracy's caught 20 metres out from his own line. He gets up and plays it back to Hayward. Infield it comes now. Ball is taken forward this time by Tala. And Tuala's caught. He's just outside the 20. Bulldogs enter the field. Infield it comes down to Crichton. And Crichton with a short pass is caught. He's only about 30 metres out from his own line, so it's been good defence in this set of 6 from the Bulldogs. As the ball comes back now, it's taken forward by Curran. A little bit one out at the moment from the Bulldogs. 11 short of the halfway. Hayward looks for the ball. Instead it goes to Galvin. Then it goes to Preston. Right side to Crichton. Crichton looks for runners as the ball is taken forward again by Tuala. Gets up and plays it back 5 metres inside the Sharks' territories. It comes back to Galvin. High kick in the air. Well taken by Kennedy. Absolutely nailed by Preston coming through. Launched himself to Preston at Kennedy, but Kennedy stood his ground. And the score remains 0-0. The Bulldogs and the Sharks.
Yeah, it was a brilliant chase there by Preston. Unfortunately, it looks like he's come off second best. He's just nursing a shoulder at the moment, the right shoulder that he contacted Kennedy with. So maybe just a bit of a cork or something as he frees it up.
Okay, so a Sharks player's gone down. And a little bit going on, a little bit of push and shove. Tala was the player that went into the tackle. Very slow to get to his feet. A little bit of push and shove. Ashley Klein, he's in the middle of it. And just determining exactly what happened here will be the bunker. Adam G is in the bunker tonight. No score at Stadium Australia. The Bulldogs and the Sharks down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, again, this is trying to milk the penalty, in my opinion. He probably does get a little bit of high contact. Certainly a little bit of identification of that by Bulldogs players, but this game's been played at such high speed.
Yep.
Surely fatigue's going to take a hand in this as we get to the last part of this half.
Yeah, Reed Marnie coming in.
Yeah, purely accidental, and it was Katoa. I think he took exception to Jamin Salmon saying he was milking it. He was obviously a little bit stung by it, but nothing much doing in the end.
All right, so Sharks with possession, score 0-0 here at Stadium Australia. As the ball is going to be played back now. Fanua Blake takes it forward. That's a good run. And Fanua Blake through the first line of defence is caught 11 short of the halfway. It comes back to Brayley. Then it goes to Hines. Again with a hurried kick away. Tuala takes it comfortably. Comes towards the defence now. Again, good field position here for the Bulldogs. 11 short of the halfway. Ball is taken there by Galvin. Galvin is going to be caught. Gets up and plays it back. Left left side now. The ball is taken forward by Preston, and Preston's over the halfway. They can't put him down. Preston is called upon to play it back as it comes now from Marnie. Left side it goes to Galvin. Looks for Kickow, finds him. Kickow running on the angle, gets his arm free. Bulldogs with possession through Tracy. Offloads to Crichton. Crichton tries to palm his way through, but the defence is resolute from the Sharks, and he's put down 31 metres out. Called upon to play it back. 5 metres in from touch. Gets to his feet now. Infield it comes. Galvin. Left side it goes. Ball taken forward by Salmon. And Salmon has to take the tackle. Curran overran him. 29 metres out. Look for the kick. Here it comes from Burton. It's high in the air. Katoa is back there. He takes it comfortably. Katoa took it well, gets to his feet, runs across field, and Katoa's caught. He's only 5 metres out from his own line, and the score remains 0-0 between the Bulldogs and the Sharks.
He got some good protection on the kick to Katoa, and there was a bit of a boo from the crowd because they thought that Montoya had been taken out in an escort fashion, but the referee was right there on the spot, and Katoa bounces out. But once again, the Sharks, it's been hard going coming out of their own end, and that's, again, due to that intensity that Matty's spoken about with the Bulldogs.
Iro takes it forward, not a bad run. He's caught 15 short of the halfway as the ball comes back to Brayley now, who goes himself, nicely tackled though. Curran coming through, put him down. Now it comes back to Hines, again across field, inside his own half. Kicks it downfield, again it goes to Montoya. Comes towards the chase now, Montoya palms his way through one tackle, still going. And Montoya's caught 15 short of the halfway. No score, Bulldogs and the Sharks. Sharks looking to get back on side, down to the sideline. Matthew.
Yeah, great run there by Lockie Galvin out of dummy half. He just gets some momentum in his set. Both teams working hard to stop ruck speed, but Bulldogs just get 6 again. Dangerous set coming.
Haywood offloads now to Kickow, forced across field. Nice tackle there by Burns, who put him down 41 metres out, 10 metres in from touch. As the ball comes infield now, it goes to King, and King is caught. He's 32 metres out. And King gets up and plays it back now as it goes from Marnie to Salmon, through the hands to Galvin. Looks on his outside, ball taken forward by Preston now, and Preston is caught, and he's put down. He's 22 metres out. He gets up and plays it back. Left-hand side of the field now, it goes to Marnie, through the hands to Salmon, to Galvin. Long pass there to Burton. Burton can't get his arm free, but he's caught. He's only about 15 metres out, 10 metres in from touch. Again, the Bulldogs, relentless attack as it goes now to Galvin, who chips over the top. Sharks coming through, well taken there. High in the air went Mulatolo, and he took it well. 10 metres out from his own line, and the score remains 0-0. The Bulldogs and the Sharks, 19 minutes remaining before half-time.
Well, everything's on repeat, isn't it? The Bulldogs get downfield really comfortably with some good yardage sets, some good ruck speed, and they come up with a crossfield attacking kick. This will be a penalty. Dangerous position from Reed Marnie, I believe it was, on Nico Hines. He just wheeled him over the top, trying to put a shot on for his team, and quickly identified by Ashley Klein.
Penalty goes to the Sharks, 25 metres out from their own line. Matthew on the sideline.
Both teams are going to have to look for something a little bit. Reed Marnie didn't put on report there for a dangerous tackle there. And both teams need to come up with something a little bit different, maybe some second phase play and attack, just to ask a few more questions on the opposition.
All right, there's the kick downfield. And this is good field position for the Sharks. They'll get the tap 30 metres out from the Bulldogs line. Stadium Australia absolutely buzzing at the moment as the ball comes back to Hines. Stapleton's on the field. He takes it forward. And Stapleton is caught. He gets hammered. Hazelton plays it back. Here we go. Got the computers sorted out now. 19 metres out. Ball is about to be played back as it comes across field. Right side it goes. Ball is taken forward by Burns. And Burns is caught. He's only 11 metres out. Nice tackle made by Kickow. Infield it comes down from Hines. Hines looks for runners and he finds Fanua Blake. And Fanua Blake's called upon to play it back 9 metres out. Wide it goes to Hines. Through the hands there from Atkinson. Looks on his outside as the ball is taken forward a couple of metres by Iro. And Iro's caught. He's only 5 metres out. 5 metres in from touch. Sharks on the attack now as it goes from Atkinson. Kick comes through on the line. Back there is Tracy. Dives on the loose ball in the end goal. And so, knock on. And it was knocked on in the field of play, so it will be a scrum. And so so it will be a scrum after the kick through. Dived on by Tracy. He carried the ball into the goal, but he lost it forward. And so it will be a scrum to the Sharks. Now the Sharks, a real opportunity to put some pressure on the Bulldogs. No score, the Bulldogs and the Sharks.
Yeah, sometimes this was seeing the Sharks down this end of the field, and in the end it was a really clever piece of play from Teague Wilton. He got jammed into a corner on last and he just drops it on the foot. It's ugly enough that Connor Tracy has to make a play at it, and it's not that great. So they'll repack the scrum here, a little bit messy, some instructions from the referee, and see what they dish up.
In the AFL, by the way, the Gold Coast Suns 10 leading Fremantle 6. Sharks win the scrum as it comes back to Kennedy almost through. And Kennedy scored. Scrambling defence by the Bulldogs on their own line. No score. But the Bulldogs defending at the moment. Sharks on the attack as it comes back to Rudolph. And Rudolph is caught. He's only 15 metres out. Right side of the field it goes now. It goes to Kennedy. Kennedy looks for runners. Wilton takes it forward. Absolutely crunched in the tackle. And he gets up and plays it back 10 metres out. Infield it comes now to Atkinson. Atkinson goes wide. Fanua Blake charges onto this one. And Fanua Blake is caught. He's only 5 metres out. He gets up and plays it back. Right side of the field it goes now to Hines. Hines again looks for runners. Finds Fanua Blake. He's tackled almost immediately. Again it goes to Hines through the hands to Kennedy. And Kennedy's cut down in a lovely tackle. Ball comes loose. Dived on by Montoya. And the referee is saying knocked on by the Bulldogs in the tackle. Wow. This is ferocious defence on their own line from both sides. Bulldogs and the Sharks down to the sideline. Matthew.
Yeah, we've got some substitutions. Tupanua coming on now, and I think that these are going to be really critical. These players coming on against tiring defences. That's where the opportunity is going to come. Some great defence there from the Bulldogs.
And so the scrum will pack down 10 metres out from the Bulldogs line. No score with around 16 minutes remaining before half-time. And again, it will be the Sharks to get the scrum feed 10 metres out as the ball goes wide now to Katoa through a half gap. He's still going. Scrambling defence by the Bulldogs on their own line. Hayward pursued him at Crossfield and put Katoa down as the ball comes infield now. Taking it forward this time with a heavy hit on Fanua Blake, and they put him down. King was the tackler. Hines looks for runners. Ball taken forward by Rudolph. Back it comes to Hazelton. Left-hand side of the field, Iro can't get through the defensive line from the Bulldogs, and he gets up and plays it back 10 metres out. Across field it goes now. Again, Hazelton with a straight run. Hazelton scored. He's only 9 metres out. Ball comes back now, and it goes to Atkinson. Wide it goes to Hines. Looks on his outside opportunity here for Burns. He's through. Try! First try of the game goes to the Sharks. Lovely play on the right side. Hines crooking across field. He found Burns on the fly, and Burns has scored underneath the post for the Sharks. It's 4-0 with a kick to come.
Yeah, a bit of repeat possession here for the Sharks, and they go to their right where Xiaomi Mi rushed out of the line earlier in the set to try and put a shot on, and it rattled him. He was out of position for a little bit of that set. Just seeing a replay on the big screen, it was Toby Rudolph who he tries to get a shot on, and it was identified by the Sharks. When they move to their right, gets in the hands of Nico Hines. Viliami's just a little bit slow to react, doesn't put pressure on. Hines can isolate the three-man defender and puts Billy Burns into a beautiful hole. He runs a great line here just outside Bailey Hayward. Strong run, catches the ball low right in the breadbasket, bursts through and scores a nice try for the Sharks.
Got through Hayward and Burton. Nice pass there from Nico Hines, creating a little bit of space, and Hines coming up for a shot at goal. Cross down to Matthew in just a moment. 4-0. The Sharks over the Bulldogs. Tim Gable, Matthew Elliott, and Dean Hallitale with you tonight at Stadium Australia. Terrific game so far. And Nico Hines steadies himself. He's 11 metres out, directly in front. This to make it 6-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. And he's kicked it. 6-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, really interesting strategy by Craig Fitzgibbon. He's got Fanua Blake, Hazelton and Toby Rudolph all playing in the middle at the one time there. And that's where they really created the initial go forward there to give Billy Burns an opportunity on that edge that he took with both hands. That was a great line as Dean explained.
And so the restart now. And Tupanua warming up on the sideline for the Bulldogs. Also, Hamlin Ueli on the sideline. As is Tala. Mike in Canberra says the touchies are missing many forward passes currently. Doesn't bode well for the finals if that is continuing. Listening to the game as I'm passing through, Gulgadi tuned into all of the finals. And as we see here, the referee just having a chat to the Bulldogs. Here we go. That was Rod sending us through a text. If you'd like to have your say, 0467920222. The restart now as the ball comes back and it goes to Hazelton with the Sharks leading 6-0 over the Bulldogs. See, that's a big run from big Tom Hazelton. Back to the 20. Sharks with possession now. The ball is taken forward now to about 21 short of the halfway. Ball played back now as it goes to Rudolph, and Toby Rudolph again spinning out of the tackle is kick out on Rudolph. He's trying to put some hits on Toby Rudolph, his Viliami kick out, but he's coming off second best as the ball is taken forward a couple of metres here. So the Sharks with possession, 5 short of the halfway as it goes there from Hazelton. Looks like a forward pass. It was forward pass. Hazelton looking to offload to a man in the gap. That was Wilton. And so it will be the Bulldogs to get a scrum feed. 5 short of the halfway. 6-0. The Sharks over the Bulldogs. Matthew on the sideline.
Yeah, Hazelton comes up with the right play selection, but poor execution just a little bit late, and that would have got them to quick play the ball. So this gives the Bulldogs some field position they haven't had for a while. And hang on, yeah, Viliami kick out coming from the field for HIA.
Yes, he's spun out of the tackle there. Again on Toby Rudolph. That's the second time that he's done that. And so he comes off the field. And so coming on is Tupanua. Not a bad replacement. So Tupanua coming on for the Bulldogs. 6-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. And do we know the extent of Trindle's injury? Just out for one match. Well, at this stage it's an ankle strain, so obviously out of this game with Atkinson taking his place. A metre inside the Sharks' territory. Comes back to Tupanua and the Bulldogs on the attack. Sharks leading 6-0. And now they're 41 metres out. Right-hand side of the field, it goes to Hayward. Through the hands, opportunity here for Curran. And Curran through a half gap, and Curran is caught from behind and put down 29 metres out. Again, it goes to Hayward. Cuts out a player. Right-hand side, it goes to Salmon. Pass goes along the ground, picked up by Preston. And Preston is caught. He's only 29 metres out. He gets up and plays it back. Infield it comes now. It goes to Salmon with a short pass to Tupanua. Can't get his arm free for the pass away. And Tupanua's trapped. He's 21 metres out. Right-hand side now, it goes to Galvin. Galvin with a long pass as it goes to Tracy from Crichton. And then it goes further to Tala. Tuala's caught on the last tackle. They called upon to change it over, so it will be a changeover. Another replacement coming on. So Hamlin Ueli is coming on for the Sharks. They have possession 11 metres out from their own line, 5 metres in from touch, and the score remains 6-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, double change there for the Sharks. There's for Talakai also on the field. So some muscle up front. It's a big shot there from Tupanua on Hamlin Ueli as he tries to have it up.
Ball comes back now and across field goes Iro. He's going to be caught though and put down. Gets up and plays it back. And they have possession here. The Sharks, they lead 6-0. Again, the ball goes to Hazelton. Hazelton's caught 11 short of the halfway. He gets up and plays it back as it comes from Brayley. Again to Kennedy. And Kennedy on the fly is caught just short of the halfway. He gets up and plays it back. Left-hand side of the field. Look for the kick. Here it comes from Atkinson. It's high in the air. Sharks coming through. Katoa lets it bounce. Loose on the ground. Going to be picked up by Tracy. And he picked it up 19 metres out from his own line. 10 metres in from touch. Bit of a nothing kick, that one. It went high in the air. No real pressure. Ball was loose, and so the Bulldogs have possession now. 25 short of the halfway as we go down to the sideline. Matthew.
Yeah, Viliami Kikau, grade 2, HIA. He's just in the sheds getting assessed now, but the early indications are he'll be fine trying to come back on.
Comes back to Galvin. Across field he went. And it was easy meat for the defence coming through. He was caught 15 short of the halfway. Look for the kick. Here it comes from Burton. Thumps it downfield. Well taken. Left-hand side of the field. Tala is going to be caught and put down 5 short of the halfway. 5 metres in from touch. Sharks with possession. Across field goes Iro. And Iro is going to be caught by the defence coming through. Galvin was in his face. They put him down. Tupanua was the player that provided most force there. 5 short of the halfway. And it's 6-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs here at Stadium Australia. And Hamia Nueli is called upon to play it back as it comes now to Talakau. Talakau is going to be caught. He's put down 41 metres out. Hayward was the tackler. Again, they go down the blind to Hines with a lovely pass. Right-hand side of the field to Katoa. Katoa back in the inside to Ramian. Try! Sharks! Ramian flies away. Another try to the Sharks. Down the right-hand side. And Jesse Ramian has finally got a touch on the ball and he races away for a try. Lovely pass though, again from Hines to the right side, Katoa, and then back on the inside. He found a flying Jesse Ramian who has scored underneath the posts. The Sharks lead 10-0 with a kick to come.
Yeah, beautiful short side play, I should say, from the Sharks. And you know it was Nico Hines with a peach of a pass out wide to his winger there in Katoa, tiptoeing down the sideline, but the pass kept him moving on the ball, which meant that he could streak away from the outside defenders of the Bulldogs. Simple draw and pass from Connor Tracy, but he times it perfectly. Jesse Ramian backing up on the inside, and really well executed play from the Sharks off the back of a quick play the ball down the short side.
Down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, Nico Hines, one of the best short side players in the NRL, and you know, we were wondering how he'd go without Trindle there, and you can see he's dominating all the decision making with the Sharks attacking play, and sets up a beautiful try there.
And so Nico Hines coming up for a shot at goal. 5 metres to the right-hand side of the uprights. This to make it 12-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Earlier today, the Panthers 40 defeated the Dragons 20. And the Titans 36 defeated the West Tigers 28. He's kicked it. It's 12-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. If you'd like to have yours, say 0467 920 222. 12-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. In the AFLW Indigenous round, into the third quarter, Hawthorn 16, leading St Kilda 2. In the AFL elimination final, the Gold Coast Suns 12, leading Fremantle 8. Earlier today, Hawthorn 107 defeated GWS 88. In the New South Wales Cup, a remarkable result. The Raiders 24 defeated Newtown 20. The Raiders with 11 players out of that side. It's virtually the Jersey Fleck team defeating last year's premiers in the New South Wales Cup. Here we go. Sharks with possession as Kennedy goes himself, and Kennedy looked to offload to Hamilton Nueli, but took the tackle himself. They're 10 metres out from their own line. Sharks leading 12-0 over the Bulldogs. This time Hamilton Nueli gets a run. He scored just short of the 20, and he hits up and plays it back 20 metres in from touch. Again, Hazelton with a big run. That's a good run from Hazelton back to the 30. Sharks with a bit of momentum at the moment as it comes from Brayley. Brayley looks on the outside. They have possession, 11 short of the halfway as Atkinson took it to about 10 metres short of the halfway as it comes back from Wilton to Iro. And Iro's thumped to the turf and a good tackle, and he gets up and plays it back. Infield it comes now. Look for the kick from Atkinson. Here we go. Spiralling kick. High in the air. This is difficult. Coming through the Sharks. Ball is tapped back. Loose on the ground. Lost forward by the Sharks. Dived on by the Bulldogs. And so the Bulldogs with possession. 25 metres short of the halfway. Salmon was the player who dived on it. The Bulldogs through Tracy now. 21 short of the halfway. 12-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. As it comes back now, Hayward steps on the gas. Sees the gap but closes quickly. 19 short of the halfway. Left-hand side of the field. What can the Bulldogs do here? They're down at the moment 12-0. Around 6 minutes remaining before half-time as it comes infield. Ball is taken forward by Hughes. Hughes originally in the starting side but replaced at the last moment, and so he's come on as a replacement as it goes now to Tupanua. Through the hands to Tracy. Across field he goes. Looks on his outside. Ball taken forward this time by Tala. And Tuala's caught 9 metres inside the Sharks territory. Here it goes to Galvin on the last tackle. It's a wobbly old kick high in the air. And back there is Katoa, takes it comfortably, comes towards the chase. And so the Bulldogs with possession, Sharks with possession, Bulldogs flying through. It's 12-0. The Sharks over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, they've handled those kicks quite well. The Sharks, they've put enough pressure on so that they've got just enough time to catch it, put a bit of evasion on and try and get some quick meters. So the back three have done a really good job for the Sharks. As we see that fatigue really setting in, the Bulldogs, that line speed that they had for that first 30 minutes of the match has certainly dropped away now.
Tala takes it forward, carrying players with him back to the halfway. Gets up and plays it back. It's Brayley at acting half now. Right-hand side it goes to Hines. Hines goes himself, crunched in the tackle. It's a good tackle too. And he's wrapped up ball and all. Salmon was the tackler. Look for the kick. Here it comes. Atkinson under pressure, puts a kick high in the air. And coming through is Montoya. Montoya was high in the air. Ball has come forward. And is it a... Yeah, it looks like it is a Sharks knock on in the contest for the ball. And so the Bulldogs will get it 20 metres out. 20 metres out from their own line. And the score remains 12-0. Down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, with even just 4 minutes to go in this half, like the intensity of this game has not dissipated at all. It's quite surprising, and this tells us what the semi-final footy is going to be like, because these teams are going at each other 100%.
Okay, so Montoya takes it forward now. Bulldogs with possession, 25 short of the halfway. He gets up and plays it back as it comes across field now. It goes from Galvin to Tupanua, and Tupanua's forced back Wilton in his face. That's a good tackle. Also coming through is Brayley. And they put him on his back, 19 metres out from their own line. Bulldogs now through Preston. And Preston with a good run. He's going to be trapped though. He's 21 short of the halfway. Gets up and plays it back. It's 12-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Across field goes Galvin, straightens up now, and he's caught by Hamlin-Ueli, who puts him down 15 short of the halfway. Again, the ball comes right-hand side. Ball taken forward by Tracy. Tracy almost runs into the back of Tupanua, but he takes the tackle 5 short of the halfway. Left-hand side of the field now goes to Burton. Burton with the spiraling kick downfield. Back there is Kennedy. Takes it comfortably. And Kennedy gets a little bit of speed up, and he's caught 19 short of the halfway. Score remains 12-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. 3 minutes remaining before the break.
Yeah, it was a good take in the end by Kennedy, because Matt Burton went for the big spiral bomb. He didn't quite hit it as he normally does, but it was wobbly enough just to put a little bit of fear in Kennedy's mind. Takes it well, and the Sharks now, they move it to 40. It's that intensity that Matty said. It's still so physical out there, and both teams really stiff defensively.
Ramian takes it forward now. Ramian's caught, and he plays the ball back just short of the halfway. Sharks on the attack. Ball taken forward now by Hazelton. He's over the halfway. He's put down on a good tackle. Now it comes back. Look for the kick. Here it comes from Atkinson. Wobbly old kick. Back there is Tracy. Takes it comfortably. He was under pressure. Ball comes loose. Picked up by Tala. Offloads now. A chance here for the Sharks. Away goes Brownie. Try. Sharks. Ball came loose. Off the chest of Tracy. Picked up by Talakai. And away went Brayley for the third try in the first half of the Sharks. It's 16-0 with a kick to come.
Oh, you got to feel for Connor Tracy. He's been one of their most consistent performers for a long time now, and he's been safe at the back generally. And this kick, it's fairly straightforward. It must have got a bit of a swirl. It gets away, or it's a contact that comes through that forces it loose, and it's Teague Wilton puts in a really good chase. The contact forces the ball loose from Tracy, and then, you know, CSF Talakai does a great job to scoop that up with his left hand on the run, switches it over to the right, gets it out, passes it off to Brayley, who shows great speed, great awareness to get through and get the 4-pointer.
16-0 with the kick to come. Matthew on the sideline.
What about Talakai's skill set there? One-handed pick-up, and it's not just the catch that he made, it was the offload as well. Just sublime skill to see. And Braden Bailey, well, he celebrates his contract extension with a really important try just on half-time.
And so Brayley has scored 10 metres to the left-hand side of the uprights. Score remains 16-0. The Sharks over the Bulldogs. Tries to Burns, Ramian, and now Brayley in the first half. Sharks 16, Bulldogs 0. Less than a minute remaining before half-time. And now Nico Hines. make it 18-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Steadies himself. Shuffles towards the ball. Kicks it. And he has kicked it. 18-0. The Sharks over the Bulldogs in the AFL quarter time in the second elimination final. The Gold Coast Suns 12 leading Fremantle 8 in the AFL Indigenous round into the third quarter. This is the AFLW Indigenous round. Hawthorn 16 leading St Kilda 2. And earlier today, New South Wales Cup, the Raiders 24 defeating Newtown 20. The Titans 36 defeated the West Tigers 28 in the NRL. And earlier, the Panthers 40 defeated the Dragons 20 to move into 7th place, which means the Panthers next weekend will play the Warriors in New Zealand. The Sharks play the Roosters. Melbourne plays the Bulldogs. And, of course, the Raiders up against the Broncos Sunday afternoon at Canberra Stadium. Alongside me is Dean Hallertau. As the ball is taken forward a couple of metres here, the Sharks, with plenty of momentum, they lead 18-0 over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think it's been an 18-point better performance by the Sharks. The Dogs have been really good in this first half, but the Sharks have just made the most of those opportunities and iced them.
Ball comes back now to Atkinson. He looks on his outside for Wilton, who's been a willing workhorse this afternoon. Plays the ball back. Again, Brayley as it goes to Hines. Kicks the ball through, and he's going to find touch. Across comes Tracy. Lets the ball roll into touch as the siren goes in the background. 18-0, 3 tries to 0 in the first half. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Tries to Burns, Ramian and Brayley. And it's been all the Sharks. The effort has been quite extraordinary. Matthew on the sideline.
Yeah, well, the Sharks have 58% of that possession with a 91% completion rate, and that's where their dominance comes from. But, yeah, it was a really high-quality half of footy, and the scoreline, as you said, doesn't really indicate how close this game is.
Yeah, well, you know, the Dogs, they spent a lot of time down attacking the Sharks line. The Sharks scrambled really well. They repelled them. They turned them away, and when they got the other end of the field, they were able to execute. There's a couple of opportunistic ones. The one that went last to Brayley was off a mistake from Connor Tracy, but the other ones were quite solid in terms of the structure of football that the Sharks are playing. The short side raid, Nico Hines with a beautiful pass to get Katara into space. The Billy Burns try, again, Nico Hines with the pass there on a great line run. So they've played some really good football. The missed tackle count for both teams is quite low. Only 15 to the Sharks and 24 to the Bulldogs. That's probably higher than they'd expect, but it has been a high-quality half of football. And, you know, there'll be some tired bodies at half-time because there was plenty of physicality in the middle of the field, and they didn't leave anything in the tank, that's for sure.
Good on you, Dean. Half-time here at the Olympic Stadium, Stadium Australia. The Sharks 18 lead the Bulldogs 0. Sharks 18, Bulldogs 0 in the first half, half-time. And we'll be back here with more in just a moment, but firstly to the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Sam Wilkinson. Authorities say the victim of a fatal shark attack on Sydney's northern beaches leaves behind a wife and young daughter just a day before Father's Day. The 57-year-old DY man was pulled from Longreef Beach just after 10 o'clock this morning, suffering catastrophic injuries and died at the scene. Police say the man lost a number of limbs and 2 sections of his surfboard have been recovered. Inspector Stuart Thompson says authorities will work to identify the type of shark responsible.
So we had a number of police boats for life-saving. There was a number of jet skis. They were out looking for, obviously, the shark. Obviously, we passed that information on to the Department of Primary Industries, who will be the key agency in terms of obviously locating the shark and then working out what to do next.
The search for accused cop killer Desi Freeman continues, with police offering a $1 million reward for anyone who has information that leads to his arrest. Shannon Schubert reports from Pawnpukka.
There have been no confirmed sightings of Desi Freeman since he fled into dense bushland in Victoria's high country late last month, after allegedly shooting dead 2 police officers on his property. Police are offering a historic $1 million reward for anyone who has information that could lead to Mr. Freeman's arrest. Detective Inspector Dean Thomas says it's not a last resort.
It's not an act of desperation, and it's far from it.
Police activity has been quiet around Pawnpukka today. The Victoria Police say there are no plans to scale down the search.
Authorities say they've targeted a black market in steroids and synthetic drugs operating across Queensland. Details from Joshua McIntosh.
An investigation led by Australian Border Force has resulted in the arrest of 17 people and the seizure of $1.5 million worth of performance and image-enhancing drugs and other illicit substances. Border Force officers intercepted packages containing the drugs destined for private mailboxes, parcel lockers and post office boxes around Queensland. 13 shipments were received from overseas, linked to 4 properties on the Sunshine Coast. Police and Border Force searched the properties and charged 4 people with drug importation and trafficking offences. Border Force says the 6-month operation was supported by Sport Integrity Australia.
The US Defence Secretary says renaming the Department of Defence is about restoring the warrior ethos. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order changing the name from the Department of Defence to the Department of War. Mr. Trump's move represents his latest effort to rebrand the US military. Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth says the department will fight decisively, but not in endless conflicts.
We changed the name after World War II from the Department of War to the Department of Defense in 1947. We haven't won a major war since, and that's not to disparage our warfighters, whether it's the Korean War, the Vietnam War, or our generation of Iraq and Afghanistan. That's to recognize that this name change is not just about renaming, it's about restoring.
Earthquake survivors in Afghanistan say they're in urgent need of assistance after entire households were buried under rubble, leaving people homeless. The week's first earthquake of magnitude 6 hit on Sunday was one of the country's deadliest and was followed by 2 others, including a magnitude 6.2 earthquake Thursday morning. Authorities say around 2,200 people have died so far. This local farmer, who has been displaced, says people are living in fear of further quakes.
Don't even ask about the fear. The car passes by here, the children get scared and start crying, and they don't calm down. I carry this one in my arms all day long. Even a slight shake makes them afraid.
UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has refused to comment on corruption in Papua New Guinea in an historic visit to the country. PNG correspondent Marion Farr reports.
It was an uncomfortable end to a 4-day visit. Antonio Guterres departing PNG with words of admiration for the country, but refusing to respond to a newspaper editorial urging him to cut the crap and call out corruption in PNG. It's the first time a sitting Secretary-General of the United Nations has visited the Pacific country. But in a highly critical op-ed, a leading national newspaper told the UN boss to stop paying lip service to PNG politicians, saying corruption is the biggest hindrance to the country's development.
And Hawthorn have survived a GWS Giants fight back to claim their AFL elimination final by 19 points at Sydney Showgrounds. The Hawks were out to a 42-point lead midway through the third quarter before the home side kicked 7 goals in a row. The Giants had the lead early in the last before Sam Butler and Marbior Chol scored late goals to get Hawthorn to victory. They'll play the Crows in a semi-final at the Adelaide Oval next Friday, while the Giants' season is over. And you're up to date with the latest ABC News.
Vote for your favourite in ABC Radio National's Top 100 Books of the 21st Century.
Need inspiration? We've got a list.
Voting has opened.
Look for Top 100 on the ABC Radio National homepage.
Hi, I'm Corbin Middlemass.
And I'm Ed Cowan.
He played Test cricket for Australia.
And Ed Cowan gets his first Test match century.
And he commentates the cricket.
Stark tries again. He rocks in! Straight through him! Together, we're giving you your weekly cricket conversation.
We're pulling apart the biggest stories in the sport and delivering them to you each and every week.
It's called the Grandstand Cricket Podcast. Find it on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
Wide it goes to Hines. Gets on his outside opportunity here for Burns. He's through. Try! First try of the game goes to the Sharks. Lovely play on the right side. Hines drifting across field. He found Burns on the fly. And Burns has scored underneath the post for the Sharks. 41 metres out. Hayward was the tackler. Again, they go down the blind to Hines with a lovely pass. Right-hand side of the field to Katoa. Katoa back to the inside to Ramian. Try! Sharks! Ramian flies away. Another try to the Sharks. Down the right-hand side. Lovely old kick. Back there as Tracy takes it comfortably. He was under pressure. Ball comes loose. Picked up by Tala. Offload now. Great chance here for the Sharks. Away goes Brady. Try. Sharks. Ball came loose. Off the chest of Tracy. Picked up by Talakai. And away went Brayley.
The 2025 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Hello and welcome back to Stadium Australia. 18-0, the Sharks over the Bulldogs. It's been a good old-fashioned ambush here tonight because the Bulldogs probably went in as the favourites, but the Sharks with 3 tries to nil in the first half. Their line speed defence in the first half was terrific. Whether they can maintain that speed and that ferocity, that intensity in the second half remains to be seen.
Oh, well, they finished the half in good shape, I thought, the Sharks, and obviously the Dogs have had the early HIA to Bronson Cherry and then Xiaomi Mi kick out towards the end of that half, so they're a little bit battered at the moment. A few combinations that have been mixed around, particularly on their left edge. So the Sharks are looking good, and a good patient half of football from the Sharks. Once those opportunities did come, they were able to execute really well and score some points, and they'll go in feeling very comfortable with where they're at, but they'll keep their foot on the pedal, I think, in the second half as well.
Down to the sideline, Matthew Elliott. Matthew, just your impressions of that first half and your expectations for the second 40 minutes.
Yeah, well, again, a very close contest, and just a little bit of information for you. Xiaomi Mi has passed his HIA and will start the second half. And a little bit of feedback from the sheds is that Craig Fitzgibbon really wants them to focus on ruck speed to give Blake Brayley a bit of space around that ruck, and Cameron Giraldo talking about better defence down their short sides as they've been exploited a few times.
And Matthew, just the energy from the Sharks, they withstood a fair bit of pressure from the Bulldogs in the first 20 minutes. You just get the impression that there is more energy in this Shark side than the Bulldogs at the moment.
Yeah, not only the energy, they just, when they had those small opportunities, they were able to take them, and obviously that last one off the kick and the kind of Tracy not being able to actually ice that, the recovery of that kick, just probably put the game a little bit out of touch for them. It'll be interesting to see how they respond in this second half, because their attack in recent weeks probably hasn't been lighting up the fans all the way that they play.
All right, just waiting for the two teams to come back onto the field for the start of the second half. And Xiaomi Kikau will start the second half after being forced off with that head injury assessment in the first half. And worth noting too that Bronson Cherry didn't last 5 minutes after he was forced off the field and out of the game with a head injury. And that was a category 1 as we see the kids lining up in front of us with the second half to get underway shortly. Burns, Ramian and Brayley scored in the first 40 minutes for the Sharks. The Bulldogs didn't cross the line. Tim Gable, Matthew Elliott and Dean Hallertau with you tonight at Stadium Australia. If you'd like to have your say, 0467 920 222 in the AFL Elimination Finals. Hawthorn 107 defeated GWS 88. Into the second quarter, the Gold Coast Suns 31 lead Fremantle 26. Third quarter in the AFLW Indigenous round, Hawthorn 36 lead St Kilda 3. And earlier today in Rugby League, the Titans 36 defeated the West Tigers 28, and the Panthers 40 defeated the Dragons 20, which means the Panthers move to 7th place. And so next weekend, the Sharks will play the Roosters. The Warriors are at home to the Panthers. Melbourne takes on the Bulldogs. And of course, the Raiders up against the Broncos. And Michael Maguire, the Broncos coach, earlier today on ABC Sport, confirming that final will be played Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock at Canberra Stadium. Alongside me is Dean Hallertau.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to finals football next week. There'll be some huge matchups and getting some certainty around what's happening with the draw, and teams will start obviously preparing for that. Still got a day of football to go tomorrow, so teams that are still alive in this competition will be wanting to make sure they get through the rest of the weekend unscathed, and these two teams tonight obviously involved in that as well. So a bit to go for both these teams, 40 minutes, and then they can set their sights on kicking off the finals campaign next weekend.
And still waiting for the two teams to come on the field for the start of the second half. And Matthew, just looking at those matchups next weekend, the Sharks up against the Roosters, that'll be a fantastic game given that both sides hit the finals in pretty good form. The Warriors at home, they've started a little bit against the Panthers next weekend. Melbourne up against the Bulldogs, and of course the Raiders taking on the Broncos.
Yeah, one of the things we've learned about rugby league this year and the NRL is it's very hard to make really accurate predictions because even like the Sharks being up 18-0, you just can't be sure with what's going to happen with the momentum shifts in the sport at the moment. So it's a really exciting series we've got in front of us.
All right. And so the two teams lining up in the tunnel now. In the New South Wales Cup, by the way, earlier today, the Raiders 24 defeated Newtown 20. Newtown, the reigning champions in the New South Wales Cup, have been eliminated, and the Raiders, with 11 changes to their side today, accounting for Newtown 24 points to 20. And the Wallabies came from behind to defeat Argentina 28-24. And that game played in Townsville. Next weekend, they're back in Sydney for the second test in the Rugby Championship, with the Wallabies 28 defeating Argentina 24 after being down for much of the game. The Wallabies coming home with a late sail and a couple of tries as we see the Sharks coming on the field for the start of the second half. Blake Brayley, who was one of the stars for the Sharks, leading the team out onto the field. Nico Hines was simply outstanding in the first 40 minutes, involved in virtually everything good that the Sharks did. And now the Bulldogs lining up. Ashley Klein is the referee. And the Bulldogs crowd in front of us get to their feet just to, I guess, add a little bit of energy to this Bulldog side, because it was all the Sharks in the final 20 minutes of the first half. Stephen Crichton leading the Bulldogs onto the field for the start of the second half. 18-0, Sharks over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they just got to find some connection in their halves, the Bulldogs. So that they played tough enough in that first half, to try and get some points on the board, and they're really competitive, but they've had to reshuffle things with the Broch and Cherry HIA, and you've got obviously that combination with Lockie Galvin still trying to settle. Matt Burton's moved out to the centres, although it looks like he's taken his place as the catcher, which may indicate that he's going to be playing in the halves for this second half.
So here we go. About to get underway. Xiaomi Mi is out there too, given that he suffered that head injury. Kurt Mann is warming up on the sideline, so we are underway. The Bulldogs running towards the northern end have possession at the moment as the ball is taken forward, this time by Hughes, jumped into the tackle and was forced back a couple of metres. So they're 5 metres out here, the Bulldogs, running from the southern end as they've got the ball at the moment. Only about 10 metres out from their own line as the ball is taken forward there by Tala. And this is strong defence by the Sharks in the faces of the Bulldogs. Comes back now. Open side. It goes to Kickoff, and Kickoff tries to bust his way through. He's going to be caught and put down 21 metres out from his own line. Across field again it goes, and it goes to Tracy this time. And Tracy's caught. He's 25 short of the halfway. 18-0. The Sharks lead the Bulldogs. And Matt Burton with a thumping kick downfield. Going to be well taken though on the full by Katoa. Sprints across field and Kickoff thumps him to the turf. 11 short of the halfway. So the Sharks with possession, 11 short of the halfway as it comes infield. Ball is taken forward now by Ramian, and Ramian's caught. He's only 9 short of the halfway. Gets up and plays the ball back as it goes from Brayley, left-hand side of the field, and the Sharks looking to penetrate as the ball is taken forward by Iro. He's caught just short of the halfway. He gets up and plays it back now. Still the Sharks with possession. Taking it forward now is Talakai. It bounces out of one tackle, still going, and Tupanua comes across and puts him down 45 metres out. Sharks still on the attack though as the ball is taken forward by Hammy Nueli. He's upended. Last tackle coming up here for the Sharks, 35 metres out. Look for the kick. Here it comes from Atkinson. It's high in the air. And back there is Tracy. Takes it comfortably this time. and he's put down on his back only 5 metres out from his own line. Score remains 18-0. Opening moments of the second half. Sharks 18, Bulldogs 0.
Yeah, well, it's all the Sharks so far. They have controlled field position. They've really hemmed the Bulldogs in their own. There was some fast line speed, although this penalty will get the Bulldogs out with the piggyback. Just watching the changes being made. Jacob Preston's actually gone to left centre, so Matt Burton is playing in the halves in his traditional 6th position, and Preston's out to the left centre position.
Down to the sideline, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, and that change obviously gives Matt Burton a lot more control and allows the Bulldogs to utilise his kicking game, as we see the Bulldogs start off and get driven back there by the really enthusiastic Cronulla Sharks defence.
Curran plays the ball back on the halfway as it goes. Hayward then to Hughes. Hughes gets his arm free, gets the pass away as it comes back from Hayward to Tupanua to Burton, and Burton's scored. He's 41 metres out, and he gets up and plays it back now. Kick out at acting half. The Hayward flops the pass nicely there to Tupanua, and Tupanua's caught, and he's 35 metres out. He gets up and plays it back again. Right-hand side of the field, it goes from Marnie to Hayward, through the hands from Galvin. Galvin looks for runners on the outside. He finds Curran, and Curran's caught 31 metres out. He gets up and plays it back now to Marnie, to Hayward. Hayward with a long pass there to Galvin, with a nice pickup. Then it goes to Kickow, running on the angle. Kickow's caught, and he's 21 metres out. He plays the ball back now, left-hand side of the field. It goes to Burton with a high kick in the air, and coming through is Katoa, who takes it comfortably. Katoa went high in the air. The Bulldogs appealing for the penalty, saying that Montoya went high and he was knocked off the ball. Sharks have possession, 6 metres out from their own line. Score remains 18-0. Sharks over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the kick protection from the Sharks has been really strong in terms of the numbers they get around their catches. And I think it was Raymond that come across, and he had a few groans from the crowd, although another yardage penalty this time to the Sharks. Markers not square, the signal from Ashley Klein. So the Sharks get around. Look at the body language from the Sharks. They're all rushing in, happy with the carry there. They'll kick for touch, put themselves in good position.
21 metres short of the halfway, down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, and this field position will again give Nico Hines the opportunity to dominate the Sharks attacking set, and let's see him whip down another short side. I feel it coming.
41 metres out. Tap is taken as it goes to Hines with a long pass to Hamlin Ueli, who charges onto that one. He's going to be caught though, 35 metres out. He gets up and plays it back. Short side now. It goes to Talakai. Ball taken forward by Hazelton now. And Hazelton's caught from the offload from Talakai, and he's caught 25 metres out. Infield it goes from Hines. Ball is taken forward another couple of metres there. That's a good run by Talakai. He's going to be caught 21 metres out. Right-hand side of the field now. Ball is taken forward by Rabian. Rabian's caught. He's only about 10 metres out, 5 metres in from touch. Called upon to play it back as it comes in field again to Hines. Hines through the hands it goes. Lovely piece of play there to Hamlin Ueli. Almost through. Going to be caught by Burton right on the line. And he gets up and plays it back on the last tackle. Sharks on the attack as it comes back to Hines. Chips the ball over the top. Tap back. Straight to the arms of Tala. Who's downfield. He's 20 metres out from his own line. He's over the 30. Over the halfway. Being pursued. They won't catch him. He's over the 20. And he's away. First try of the game for the Bulldogs. A runaway try. Tala from almost his own line. The kick came through. He sprinted downfield. They pursued him. Try Bulldogs. 18 points to 4 with the kick to come. Almost directly in front. A runaway try to the Bulldogs. That's going to add some energy to this Bulldogs side. A little bit lacklustre in the first half. And they score the first try of the second half. 18 points to 4 with the kick to come.
Well, it's definitely added energy to the crowd as they all go up on their feet. And Ari Tuala had the full length of the field to go. It was a kick from Nico Hines across field. It was a bit of a lollipop kick. He had some space in behind the line that he tried to get Teague Wilton to, but he was unable to knock the ball back to his own teammates. He kind of got turned inside out, tapped the ball straight into the arms of Tuala, who pulls off a really nice spin move through contact. And once he was in backfield, Kale Hero is chasing. He's doing all he can to get there, but he's just given away too much of a start, and Tuala shows great composure and form to get all the way to the line.
18 points to 4 with the kick to come. Matt on the sideline.
That was a really good attacking set by the Sharks. And I've got to say, it was quite a good kick from Nico Hines at the end Tuala's brilliance there, not only taking the ball, but the way he spun through the defence and then hit the accelerator, getting the clear. They never look like catching him. This could be a major moment in this game of footy.
Matt Burton coming up for a shot at goal now. 19 metres up, 10 metres to the right-hand side of the uprights to make it 18-6. The Sharks in front of the Bulldogs at the moment, 18-4. So Matt Burton steadies himself now, almost directly in front to make it 18-6. Bulldogs score the first try of the second half, and that try has been converted. 18 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs in the AFL. The Gold Coast Suns now lead Fremantle 50-32. That game being played in Perth too. The Gold Coast Suns 50 leading Fremantle 32 in the AFLW Indigenous round. Into the final quarter, Hawthorn 38 leading St Kilda 3. And we are about to get underway with a restart now.
There's a report being made on Satili Tupanua for the shot on Hazelton after he passed the ball. He was quite winded in behind play, but referee Ashley Klein just signalled for a report there on Tupanua.
So Tupanua on report. Try stands though, converted by Burton. So 18 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Tim Gable, Matthew Elliott and Dean Hallitale with you tonight at Stadium Australia in Sydney on ABC Sport across Australia. So we are just waiting now for Ashley Klein. Blows the whistle on. Ball is on the halfway. Blake Brayley has it placed. Here we go with a kick downfield. Brayley with a long kick. Bulldogs with possession, almost on their own line. Comes back now to Hughes. Big bulky forward, but he's pushed back about 5 metres by the rushing defence. And he's put down 10 metres out from his own line. Ball comes back now, and it's taken forward this time by Curran. And Curran's forced to crossfield. Still plenty of energy in the Sharks' defence as it comes back now. And it goes to Hayward through the hands from Burton to kick out. And kick out is cut down, and a nice tackle too by Hines. Left-hand side of the field, it goes to Burton. And Burton's caught his slips as he comes towards the tackle there of Talakai. And he's put down. And very slow to get to his feet, but an awkward position there as he slipped as he came towards the defence. Burton has slipped. Talakai's hit him high. Penalty goes to the Bulldogs. No real intent there. 29 metres out from their own line. Bulldogs get a penalty. 18 points to 6. Sharks in front.
Yeah, not much intent. And he just gets him on the side of the head there as he's falling. You're right there, Tim. They looped around on a really fast play. There was a nice tackle by Nico Hines on Villian to kick out, but he didn't have a lot of control in the tackle, so they got up quickly, come down a short side, and the slip and fall cost the penalty.
Preston takes the tap. He's going to be caught 45 metres out from the Sharks line. Bulldogs on the attack as it comes now to Tupanua with a good run. Tupanua with some energy there. He's put down by Hamlin Ueli. Infield it comes now. Hayward sees a gap. It closes pretty quickly. Another big tackle. Hamlin Ueli was the tackler again. Right-hand side of the field. They're 21 metres out. Bulldogs on the attack as it goes to Curran now. Curran's caught and he's 15 metres out. He gets up and plays it back now as it comes infield from Marnie. Wide it goes to Hayward, to Galvin. Galvin goes himself. He's going to be caught though and put down, wrapped up ball and all. Last tackle coming up here for the Bulldogs. Left-hand side of the field it goes to Burton. Burton's caught on the last tackle. Can't get his arm free. Ball is loose. Picked up by the Sharks. Dived on by Ramian. And so the Sharks have possession 9 metres out from their own line as Katoa sprints across field. He's going to be caught though and put down 9 metres out from his own line. 18 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs down to the sideline. Matthew.
Yeah, the subtlety of modern NRL is just the change of momentum can come from so many little things. And there we go. That takes all the pressure off the Sharks, who are having a lot of trouble getting out of their own territory. They get a penalty for a high tackle.
20 metres out from their own line. The Sharks with a penalty. They lead 18 points to 6.
Yeah, just Viliami kick out. Actually, it's Curran coming over the top on Qatar as he tries to get his team out of trouble. And yeah, there's been a lot of ebbs and flows to start this second half. Watching a replay of the Hamlin Ueli shot on Hayward there was a perler.
All right, here we go with the tap on the halfway. Sharks with a little bit of field position. Katoa has the ball in his hands. A tap taken by Ramian now. Ramian's caught. He's 41 metres up. 10 metres in from touch. Sharks leading the Bulldogs, 18 points to 6. Ball comes infield now to Hines. Looks for runners. Finds Talakai. Talakai caught there by Tupanua. Gets up and plays it back. 35 metres out. Atkinson. Then it goes to Hazelton. Hazelton's going to be caught and put down. He's 29 metres out. And the Sharks still on the attack now as the ball comes back now to Hammond-Newelli. Swings around in the tackle from kick out. Can't get the arms free for the pass away. They're 21 metres out. Atkinson across, Bill he goes. And Atkinson is caught, wrapped up ball and all. And he's called upon to play it back 15 metres out. Infield it comes from Brayley. Looks for Hines on the last tackle. Kick comes through. It's high in there. Well taken by Tala. And Tala wrapped up immediately and put down 9 metres out from his own line. Score remains 18 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, similarly for the Bulldogs, it was really nice kick protection there on the catcher coming through in an Ari Tala, who's done a good job at getting that ball. But now the Bulldogs have got their opportunity to bring it out from their own end, and the Sharks have got a renewed energy and they're getting off the line nice and quick.
The Gold Coast Suns 50 lead Fremantle 32 into the second quarter of the AFL elimination final being played in Perth. As the ball is about to be played back, 15 short of the halfway, it goes wide from Hayward with a long pass, finds Burton on the fly, and Matt Burton is caught and forced to Crossfield. He's forced back a couple of metres as well. 19 short of the halfway, 18 points to 6. The Sharks lead the Bulldogs. Hurry kick away here from Galvin. Downfield it goes, left-hand side of the field. There is a replacement about to come on the field too for the Sharks. Come down to Matthew in just a moment. So the replacement on for the Sharks. They have possession now. The Sharks as the ball is taken forward a couple of metres by Katoa this time. Katoa's caught 11 short of the halfway. Kennedy moves to acting half. Dadu on the sideline, Matthew. It's waiting for that replacement because jumper number 21 here for the Sharks.
It's Oregon Kafusi.
Kafusi, yes, of course. Kafusi on the field for the Sharks as the ball is taken forward now by Hazelton. He's caught 39 metres out. Look for the kick. Here it comes from Atkinson. It's high in the air. Tuala is back there. Ball bounces, comes off the legs of a Sharks player coming through. And so it will be the Bulldogs to get possession 10 metres out from their own line. Score remains 18 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Down to the sideline, Matthew. Just having some problems there with the audio. Okay, so here we go. Bulldogs with possession as the ball is taken forward a couple of metres by Montoya this time. Montoya is caught and he's 10 metres out from his own line. Ball comes back now. Sharks with possession. Ball taken forward there by Preston this time. Now it comes back to Tracy. Tracy really looking to add the energy there. And he's 19 short of the halfway. He'll play it back right-hand side of the field. Mann is on the field too for the Bulldogs. He takes it forward now. Mann is caught 11 short of the halfway. Back it comes to Burton with a hurried kick downfield. Back there is Katoa. Kennedy's there as well. Katoa picks it up 10 metres out from his own line. He comes towards the chase. He spins out of the first line, still going. But he got out of the first line there. The tackle coming through from Hughes. He spun out of that one but made it across field a couple of metres. And so it is the Sharks who lead 18 points to 6. They have possession at the moment. Left-hand side of the field. Ball is taken forward a couple of metres this time by Wilton. Ball comes back loose on the ground. Referee says play on as it went backwards. So the Sharks with possession as the ball is taken forward now by Mulatolo. Mulatolo's caught 15 short of the halfway. Ball comes back now and it goes to Fanua Blake who's come back onto the field. And Fanua Blake is caught. He's only about 5 short of the halfway. Called upon to play it back left-hand side of the field now to Hazelton who's had a big game this afternoon. And Hazelton is caught. He's about 45 metres out. Look for the kick on the last tackle as it comes back to Hines. High kick in the air. Montoya's back there. Takes it comfortably. And Montoya is caught 25 metres out from his own line, 5 metres in from touch. As we see another replacement here for the Bulldogs. Looks as though King is coming on. Yes, he is. King is coming on. Down to the sideline, Matthew. That will try and fix up. Yeah. So we'll send somebody down, Matthew, and we'll get it fixed up for you. 15 short of the halfway. Left-hand side of the field, it goes to Kickoff. And Kickoff charges onto that one. He's caught. Gets the arms free. Gets the pass away. Burton on the fly. On the halfway. as it comes left-hand side of the field now. So the Sharks have it through Preston, plays the ball back. Infield it comes to Burton with a short pass now. Ball is taken forward by Hughes this time. Hughes is caught, stands in the tackle. He's 31 metres out. Left-hand side, last tackle. Burton under pressure. High kick in the air. Katoa is back there, jumps for it, takes it comfortably. On his back now as Kickoff comes through. And puts him down 11 metres out from their own line. The Sharks with possession. They lead 18 points to 6 over the Bulldogs.
It's turned into a real arm wrestle now. Both teams get in through their sets with a lot of control and get into their kick. When they kick through, chasers are arriving right as they're catching the ball. With lots of pressure on, and we see the Sharks now, some tired bodies, a few players bent over. Not much support in their runs. It's fairly one out, and it's easy pickings for the Bulldogs.
Mr. Bigglesworth via SMS has just tuned in now. I'm like, wow, good to see the Sharks peak at the right time leading into the finals. But next week, a different story against my Roosters. If you'd like to have your say, 0467 920 222. 18 points to 6. The Sharks over the Bulldogs. Ball comes back now. Look for the kick from Hines. Here it comes. Wobbly old kick. Montoya takes it comfortably. 15 short of the halfway. Not bad field position here for the Bulldogs. 9 short of the halfway. Montoya's put down. Bulldogs very slow, though, to get back into an attacking position. They have the ball now, right-hand side of the field as the ball is taken forward, this time by Tala. He's almost back to the halfway, left-hand side of the field. And across the halfway goes King. But King is absolutely nailed in the tackle and put on his back 45 metres out. 18 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs as it comes back to Mann now. Mann's caught in the tackle, wrapped up ball and all. 2 players in the tackle flying in over the top. There was Brayley. Right-hand side of the field now. It goes from Marnie to Galvin. Short pass now to Burton. Burton's almost through. And he's cut down from behind. Last tackle coming up here for the Bulldogs. Right-hand side of the field now. It goes to Crichton. He's been quiet in this game so far. Stephen Crichton gets his arm free. Gets the pass away as Galvin sprints across field. Still going. And Galvin kicks the ball through. The race is on. It's in the end goal. It's gone. In touch in goal. And Stephen Crichton, I mentioned him only a couple of times in the first half. Hardly called him at all in the second half. And anyway, the ball has gone into touch. And so it is 18 points to 6. The Sharks over the Bulldogs. And the Sharks with possession now, 25 short of the halfway.
Yeah, just on Stephen Crichton, all the Bulldogs' attack has been directed down their left-hand side. So he's not experiencing a lot of early ball or structured play. And, you know, he's a centre, so he doesn't often go looking for the ball on the other side of the ruck. Love to see him involved and try and get the ball to him. It is outside with Lockie Galvin as well, so again, trying to get those combinations going.
Right there, I feel as though the Bulldogs haven't been the same attacking team since they acquired Lockie Galvin. Michael and Wendy from Drummoyne. Still plenty of time left in this game. 22 minutes to be exact. And the Sharks have possession, 5 metres inside the Bulldogs' territory. Wide it goes from Atkinson with a lovely pass. Left-hand side of the field, a chance here. Back on the inside. Ball is taken forward by Atkinson. He's away. Try to the Sharks in the corner. Atkinson, great support play. As the ball came infield there for Mulatalo. And Atkinson races away to score a try. The 4th try of the night for the Sharks. And they now lead by 22 points to 6 with a kick to come.
Yeah, again, really nice raid down a short-ish side from the Sharks. Nico Hines gets it out the back to Atkinson. They have the overlap on the outside, and Ari Tuala had come infield quite away, so he throws the cutout past Atkinson to find Mulatalo. He puts the foot on the accelerator, gets into the backfield. Simple draw and pass from Connor Tracy. And then Atkinson, who played a big role in that first pass out to Mulatalo, collects the ball back on the inside to score a try.
Down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, well, I'm back, guys.
He's back.
Yeah, and that's how Daniel Atkinson, we normally talk about his running game, but that was a beautiful pass there. An early ball straight across the face there to Mulatalo when he backed up on the inside. And just to let you know that we get to share this game with 30,638 people at the stadium tonight.
30,680. Okay, 30,680, the crowd here tonight at Stadium Australia. And as I mentioned a moment ago, the majority would be Bulldogs fans, so the Sharks have done a fair job in silencing the big crowd here tonight. They lead 22 points to 6 with a kick to come. And Big Daddy filed this text before that try just a moment ago. I think this game will go to golden points, says Big Daddy in Coffs Harbour. I Tim, Dean and Matthew. Nico Hines seems to be playing with far more confidence. Seems to be freer without Trindle sharing decisions. Paul in Wollongong. Kick is successful. 24 points to 6. The Sharks over the Bulldogs. He's having a whale of a game, Nico Hines.
Yeah, he looks great. And, I think Trindle really complements his game, but he certainly stepped up in his absence. And, we just spoke about that try and the role that Atkinson played in as well. So, he's done what he's been asked to do and can't do tonight. And I think for Nico Hines, his season's really grown as it's gone along, and that confidence is built. And, he hasn't had the spotlight on him and has much pressure. So it's good to see him playing freely, I should say.
Tom Hazelton's been replaced. Matthew, he's played an enormous game off the bench. Big Tom Hazelton. He really added some thrust to the Sharks up the middle.
Absolutely. And when that game at the start of it was so tight for the first 20 minutes, the subs coming off the bench and playing through the middle third really made a big difference to the Sharks.
Sharks with possession. 15 metres out from their own line. 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. The crowd repeating that one. Almost 31,000 here at Stadium Australia. Now the Sharks with the ball inside their own 20. Ball comes back and it goes to Fanua Blake. Carrying players with him. 3 players to be exact. And he's caught 21 short of the halfway. Now Brayley runs from dummy half with a good run. Almost up to the halfway. 9 short of the halfway. A little bit of momentum there for the Sharks on the last tackle. It comes back to Hines, who kicks it downfield. Ball is going to be taken though by Tracy. 10 metres out from his own line. He comes towards the chase now. And Tracy got through the first tackle. Caught by the second wave. 29 metres out from his own line. Ball comes infield now from Burton. Burton into Montoya. Montoya's caught. 19 short of the halfway. He gets up and plays it back. Right hand side from Galvin. Galvin looks for Tala and finds him. Tawala's caught. He's 9 short of the halfway. Gets up and plays it back as it comes from Marnie with the long pass to Mann. Through the hands from Burton to Kickow. Kickow's caught. Gets his arms free. Gets the pass away now to Galvin, who goes across field. Straightens up now. Galvin's caught right on the halfway. And he gets up and plays it back. Right hand side of the field. Here it comes from Marnie with a kick from dummy half. Downfield it goes. Picked up by the Sharks to Kennedy. And Kennedy comes towards the chase. He's going to be put down at a good tackle. And the first player there to meet him was Marnie. So Marnie put him down, 20 metres out. Sharks with possession. Score remains at 24 points to 6. And again, the Sharks get a relieving penalty. 20 metres out from their own line. 24-6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Sharks 4 tries to 1 so far tonight.
Yeah, it's been a strong performance so far from the Sharks. Just looking on the replay here, there's a high contact, I believe, called by Ashley Klein on Sione Katoa. The thumbs up from the trainer as they kick for touch. But the Sharks have settled into this game as it's gone along, and they haven't tried to overplay their hand. They've played with a lot of control, as is indicated by their completion rate, and it's good signs heading in towards next week.
And so the Sharks with possession, 5 short of the halfway. Ball about to be played back now, 5 short of the halfway. Infield it comes now. It goes from Fanua Blake, looks for runners. Ball is taken over the halfway. So the Sharks have possession, a metre inside the territory of the Bulldogs. Here we go, 41 metres out. Ball at the 6 again here for the Sharks. Crossfield goes Atkinson. Sharks have it, 31 metres out. Ball is about to be played back now, 31 metres out. At Crossfield, left-hand side it goes. Atkinson looks for runners. Ball is taken forward by Arrow. Arrow's caught. He's 21 metres out. Now, right-hand side of the field, it goes to Fanua Blake. Ball comes off the chest there of Toby Rudolph. Goes backwards, but forward in the initial phase there, according to the referee. So, the pass there from Fanua Blake to Rudolph. Rudolph has touched the ball. It's gone into the chest of a Bulldogs player, and the referee is signalling that it is a captain's challenge here. So a captain's challenge. Yep, and it will be, if it's not successful, it will be a Bulldogs ball 20 metres out from their own line. Score remains at 24 points to 6.
Well, they say you don't trust wingers or front rowers for challenges. Oh, there we go.
Toby Rudolph's in second.
So 2 front rowers, Vix.
First knock on is off the Bulldogs and challenges successful.
Good call.
Challenge successful. Matthew on the sideline.
You're better than that, mate. Don't discriminate there. But I tell you what, it was very interesting straight away. All the Sharks players came together just while that call was being made, just to consult with each other. So just shows how united they are, particularly tonight. It's probably the best I've seen them play for a little while.
Half-time in the AFL elimination final in Perth. The Gold Coast Suns 57 lead Fremantle 32 in the AFLW Indigenous round. Hawthorn 40 defeated St Kilda 17. Earlier today, the Wallabies 28 defeated Argentina 24. Wallabies 28, Argentina 24. The Wallabies coming from behind as the Sharks have possession. 20 metres out now. It goes from Atkinson, looks on the outside for Kafusi, finds him. Kafusi's caught and he's put on his back only about 15 metres out. The Sharks go down the left-hand side of the field now. They have possession about 9 metres out for the Bulldogs line. As it comes back now, right side it goes, and it goes to Atkinson. Through the hands to Hines, slips through one tackle. Hines is caught, he's 11 metres out. Called upon to play it back, they couldn't put him down. Marnie was the tackler, and now it comes from Brayley. Looks on the outside, ball taken forward by Rudolph now. And Toby Rudolph is caught, he's only 9 metres out, left-hand side of the field. Ball is taken forward by Wilton, and Wilton is caught. That was the last tackle, and so it will be a changeover. Bulldogs to get possession almost on their own line, 24 points to 6. The Sharks leading the Bulldogs here at Stadium Australia, and we have around 16 and a half minutes remaining.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before in terms of the control that the Sharks are playing with. They don't try and go for a kick. You know, a repeat set would have been nice. Oh, a mistake. Stephen Crichton, you mentioned him before. Tim hasn't had a lot of touches tonight, and that was a touch that he'd rather forget. Just have a simple hit up out of his own end and comes up with a mistake.
Matthew on the sideline. The Bulldogs at the moment just faltering on their own line.
Absolutely, and they're just not playing with any fluency at all, are they? And just the disconnection. You know, we talked about Stephen Crichton not getting the ball. Well, in recent weeks, we've seen him sort of shift to fullback to get more involved. But tonight, yeah, he's been completely absent, and an error like that from him is, I can't remember the last time I've seen one like that.
And the Bulldogs fans starting to leave the ground in front of us in droves, with the Bulldogs down 24 points to 6 with around 15 minutes remaining. Sharks with possession now as Brayley drifts across, links up with Atkinson on the inside. Fanua Blake, and Fanua Blake charges onto that one. He's going to be caught and wrapped up. Gets up and plays it back. King was the tackler. Now it comes back to Kafusi. Kafusi's caught right on the line, wearing jumper number 21 tonight. But he's forced across field. He's only a couple of metres out. Still the Sharks on the attack as the ball comes back now to Hines. Hines looks on his outside. Ball is taken forward another couple of metres by Rudolph. And Rudolph is caught. Now Brayley drifts across field from dummy half. Back it goes to Atkinson. Tries to palm his way through. And Atkinson's going to be caught. And he's only 9 metres out. He gets up and plays it back. Last tackle coming up here for the Sharks. They've got a comfortable lead at the moment. 15 minutes remaining. Left-hand side of the field it goes to Hines. Tips the ball over the top. Ball is loose in the end goal. Picked up by Tracy. Who passes it dead in goal. And so it will be a line dropout. And the Bulldogs continue to be under siege here at Stadium Australia. 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. The crowd here tonight, almost 31,000. And we have around 14 minutes remaining before full time.
Yeah, they reviewed this in the background, and Ronaldo Tala gets a hand to it, knocks it backwards. Knocks it forward, so it is a 20-metre restart for the Dogs.
7 tackles set here for the Bulldogs. They've been camped down this end of the field for a fair portion of the second half as the ball is taken forward by Tala. And Tala gets up and plays it back 25 short of the halfway. Now to Mann. Kurt Mann is caught in a good tackle. He's wrapped up ball and all. He's 15 short of the halfway. Marnie now from acting half to Galvin, who goes himself. And it goes to King, and King is caught just short of the halfway. Right-hand side of the field from Mann to Galvin. Long pass there to Tracy. Tracy goes to Crichton. Crichton's caught almost immediately. Gets to his feet, still going. Gets the pass away to Burton. Then it goes to kick out. Wide it goes to Preston. Left-hand side of the field. A little bit lateral there. Bulldogs have it. 41 metres out. As it comes now to Burton, crossfield he goes. Burton's caught. He's caught in a good tackle, 31 metres out. Right-hand side of the field, it goes to Galvin with a short pass. Ball is taken forward this time by Curran. And Curran is caught 21 metres out. Left-hand side of the field, it goes to Mann on the last tackle. Burton kicks the ball through, races on back there as Katoa, scoops it up nicely, comes out into the field of play and makes 11 metres. 11 out from his own line. He's tackled there by the Bulldogs' rushing defence, and the Sharks survive yet another raid from the Bulldogs. 24 points to 6. The Sharks lead the Bulldogs at Stadium Australia. 13 and a half minutes remaining.
It was a little bit better from the Bulldogs, asking a few more questions of the Sharks' defence. The kick on the end wasn't too bad, but it was well read once again by Katoa, who's been at the ready for his job tonight on the edge, just trying to take every opportunity he can to fuse those kicks.
Calhoun is back on the field too for the Sharks. He took the previous hit up, 15 short of the halfway. Sharks with possession. Ball is about to be played back by Iro. Now it goes to Fanua Blake, who's been an absolute mountain for the Sharks up the middle so far tonight. On the halfway, as the ball comes back to Hines, he kicks it downfield. It's a high kick. Back there is Tala, takes it comfortably. 20 out from his own line. Chase isn't too bad from the Sharks, and he's put down 25 short of the halfway, 20 metres in from touch. Ball comes infield. It goes to Crichton, and Crichton with a good run. And Stephen Crichton carrying players with him almost back to the halfway. They can't put him down. Called upon to play it back. 6 again here for the Bulldogs on the halfway as it goes now to Salmon. And Salmon is caught, and he's 39 metres out. Again, they can't put him down. He'll play it back as the ball comes back now. Left-hand side of the field, it goes to Galvin. Looks for King and finds him. King is caught. He's put down, 29 metres out. Gets up and plays it back. Left-hand side of the field, it goes to Hayward. Wide it goes to Burton. Can't get through the tackle there of Burns coming through. And Burns puts him down flat on his back. Gets up and plays it back now. 25 metres out. Hayward drifts across field. Links up on his outside for Galvin. Ball goes across field. Skipped up there by Crichton. Offloads to Tracy. Tracy kicks the ball through. Loose on the ground. Only 5 metres out. Picked up though by Katoa. And the penalty goes to the Bulldogs. Penalty Bulldogs as the kick came through. Player held back. And so it will be the Bulldogs to get possession only 5 metres out from the Sharks line.
I don't know if this challenge is going to go their way. The Sharks.
Back there. The on-field ruling was that there's a tackle.
I think it was Carlito who tackles might be Tala off the ball, or
yeah, they're going to look at that to start with.
Which they're going to have a look at to start with.
Yep.
And the major on the sunny coast.
So if there's no penalty, you've got that as well.
Listening to the coverage, thanks for taking me to the game. The Sharks have got here with very little fuss or fanfare. And the major says quietly moving forward, the Sharks with very little fanfare. Having a game of euchre, please ref it, says Trish Roosters at Concord. And it's from Levin. Let's go Sharkies.
He gets that kick away.
11 and a half minutes remaining.
He gets foot to the ball and kicks it, but then ricochets off Will Kennedy. Still playing on at this point.
The score at the moment, 24-6. Sharks over the Bulldogs.
And Carlito on.
Man, taking an eternity, this one.
He definitely plays at him.
KL grabs the waist of Venari and doesn't allow him a clean pick-up. Just need to go wide for perspective.
Can you talk through, is this deliberate, cynical, excessive fouls?
Ashley Klein is the referee. Adam G is in the bunker.
In our opinion, it's all in the process of contesting for the ball that he then stumbles and gets hands to him. Due to the proximity of also Ronaldo, it would just be a penalty. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Okay, so that's unsuccessful. Penalty here.
So the penalty goes to the Bulldogs. Well, that took an eternity to come to that decision. 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. And you'd have to think if the Bulldogs are going to fire, it has to be pretty soon with 11 and a half minutes remaining. Here we go. Tracy taps, offloads to Crichton, to Curran. Bursts onto that one. Curran's caught and wrapped up ball and all 9 metres out. Again, Marnie, left-hand side of the field. It goes to Galvin, to Crichton. Crichton looks for Kickoff, finds him. And Kickoff on the burst is caught. He's only 5 metres out. He gets up and plays it back. Marnie with a long pass. And he finds Hayward back on the inside. Ball taken forward by Curran. A willing workhorse tonight for the Bulldogs. He's tackled only 5 metres out. Again, the Bulldogs, right-hand side of the field it goes to Galvin. Cuts out a player. And he finds Crichton on the burst. Crichton's caught. They swarm around in the Shark defence. And he's caught 11 metres out. Again, it goes to Marnie, to Galvin with a long pass there. Ball taken forward by Hayward, then to Curran again. A little bit predictable from the Bulldogs, and he's tackled almost immediately, 11 metres out. Comes back to Hayward, then it goes to Crichton on the last tackle, kicks the ball through, races on, back there is Kennedy. And he taps the ball into touch in goal. And so it will be a line drop out. And the Sharks on their own line, defending well, 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs, down to the sideline, Matthew.
Yeah, that's great defensive positional play by the fullback there, where he gets across there. That was a beautiful kick by Matt Burton. Expect a short drop out here and see if the Sharks can make that play, as we see Viliami Kikau come from the field of play. Not feeling, it doesn't look that well, to be honest.
No, he's got his head down as he comes past you, as the ball comes back now. And it goes to King, and King is caught. He's 35 metres out. Still the Bulldogs on the attack. Sharks leading 24 points to 6. 9.5 minutes remaining. Comes back to Curran. And Curran's forced back a couple of metres. Hines was the tackler. And called upon to play it back. Burns was there as well. Right-hand side again, it goes to Galvin, to King. And King is caught. Again, a little bit predictable from the Bulldogs. 21 metres out. Ball comes back to Marnie. Left-hand side it goes to Galvin. Goes himself through the hands to Crichton. Wide it goes to Burton, and Burton is caught. Again, Hines involved in the tackle and puts him down. 11 metres out, 5 metres in from touch. Back it comes now. It goes to Curran, and Curran is caught. Got through the tackle there initially. Burns, but caught by the second wave coming through. Calhoun was the tackler. They're only 5 metres out. Curran down as the ball comes through now. On the last tackle, it goes to Crichton. Crichton kicks it through, and back there, Katoa again to save the day. Brings the ball back into the field of play, and the Sharks have it 5 metres out on their own line as Ramian takes it forward now. And Ramian's caught. He's only 9 metres out from his own line, 10 metres in from touch. Preston in the tackle. The ball goes across field now. It goes to Katoa. And Katoa's caught, 15 out from his own line. Score remains at 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. 8.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, well, they must have a patch through to us, Tim, because Stephen Crichton was all over the field trying to get involved as much as possible throughout that last set. But when they turned over possession, a tackling made of Katoa, he's carried his left arm quite a bit, so he's in a bit of discomfort.
Okay, so Talakai is back out there, and Talakai is caught 5 short of the halfway after a good run as it goes now to Nico Hines with a hurried kick downfield. Ball is going to be taken by Tracy. Comes outside his 20, going to be caught by Calhoun. A solid tackle on him. Burns involved as well. Now the ball comes back to Montoya. Montoya is absolutely decked. 11 short of the halfway. Tackle made by Rudolph. Wide it goes now. Ball taken forward by Tawala. But there's no way through this very strong Sharks defence. And he's put down on a good tackle by Iro. Comes infield now to Tracy. Tracy across field again. This rushing defence. And again he's put down from 11 metres out. What can the Bulldogs do? 11 metres out from the halfway, that is. And Tupanua crashes. He's going to be put down right on the halfway. Left-hand side of the field. Here comes the last tackle. Again, it comes back to Burton. Again, it's a high kick in the air. No real pressure, though, on Kennedy. He took it comfortably. Tackled by Preston and put down. 25 short of the halfway. 10 metres in from touch. And the score remains at 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. 7 minutes remaining here at Stadium Australia. Down to the sideline, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, you'd think that the intensity would dissipate a little bit, but look at that. Races out the line, absolutely slices into, I think it's Teague Wilson that just does a really hard tackle, that one.
The ball comes back now. Calhoun takes it forward this time, and he's caught 9 short of the halfway. Sharks on the attack through Talakai, and Talakai runs straight at Crichton, who puts him down. Burton was there as well, as as was King. King is down in back play after that attempted tackle. Kick comes through now, taken by Tracy, 11 metres out from his own line. He comes towards the chase. Ramian puts him down, 22 metres out from their own line. The Bulldogs with possession at the moment. They seem to be pretty much camped down this end of the field. The Bulldogs, every time they've got the footy, they have it 30 metres out from their own line as the ball comes back now from Marnie. Looks for runners again, finds Tracy, who seems to be the man most likely at the moment to take the ball forward. Tracy's caught. Calhoun was the tackler, and he gets off him now, 19 short of the halfway as it comes back to Hayward. Looks for Tupanua, finds him, and Tupanua is going to be caught, set upon by the Sharks defence, and they're still into it, the Sharks. A big tackle made there by Ramian. 11 short of the halfway as it goes from Hayward to Curran. Wide it goes to Galvin, through the hands to Tracy. Then it goes to Crichton. Crichton over the halfway, caught from behind and put down 5 metres inside the Sharks territory. 5 metres in from touch. Again it goes to Galvin. Galvin cutting back on the inside, kicks it across field. Not the greatest of kicks, lost forward by Preston. Sharks come up with possession. It went straight to Hines, who offloads now to Katoa. And Katoa across field, he goes, still going. And Katoa almost back to the halfway, still going Katoa. That's a good run, carrying players with him. A metre short of the halfway, finally caught. 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs, 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, great run there by Katoa. I'm not sure if that kick was intentional or miskicked by Lockie Galvin, because he shot it straight across field, and Jacob Preston didn't really have much of an option with what he was going to do if he actually caught the ball. But the Sharks get it in good position, and there's a lot of tired bodies out there. See players reeling out of tackles, staying on the ground. Seen Talakai down before, Preston's been down, also Max King, so it's been a physical encounter.
Rudolph plays it back, left-hand side of the field. It goes to Hines with a short pass now to Talakai. Talakai with a rampaging run, going to be caught by King and put down. 15 metres out, he gets up and plays it back very slowly, gets to his feet. Eventually hurt in the leg by the looks of it, lower leg, left-hand side of the field it goes. It goes through the hands from Hines to Wilton. Kick through from Atkinson, and back there is Tracy through the first line. Tracy's still going and caught only 5 metres out from his own line. Matthew on the sideline.
Yeah, and the Sharks now really looking to dominate this field position. Oh, great carry there as well for the Bulldogs get out of territory. The line speed there was just phenomenal.
Tala was the player who made that half break there. And the Bulldogs have it now through Montoya. And Montoya's caught and put down. He's 25 short of the halfway, 10 metres in from touch. Again, very slow to get to his feet. The Bulldogs look to be the walking wounded at the moment as Preston takes it forward. A little bit of crossfield, absolutely nailed. 9 short of the halfway. Gets up and plays it back as it goes to Hayward. Through the hands now to Galvin. Galvin with a short pass there to Tracy. Then on the inside he finds Crichton. Crichton's caught from behind again. Gets up and plays it back 41 metres out. Ball comes back now. The chip over the top from Galvin. Races on. Back there is Kennedy. Slides into that one. He makes it out into the field of play. Galvin came through. Couldn't trap him in goal. And he did very well to stay in the field of play. Hayward was on top of him. But the momentum and the bounce of the ball very much with the Sharks as it continues here. Just having a look at the replacement coming on here. For the Bulldogs, looks to be Sam Hughes. Yes, Hughes coming on.
So Montoya's limped off the field badly, so that's a really concerning sign for the Bulldogs. Already without Carraz, one of their star wingers.
And Bronson Cherry, of course, with that head injury, suffered in the first 5 minutes. Right-hand side of the field, it goes to Katoa with the long pass there from Nico Hines, and he's put down by Preston. 30 metres out from their own line, 5 metres in from touch. It comes back to Haynes, gets a hurried kick away, and bounces precariously. Tala takes it comfortably in the end on the second bounce. 5 short of the halfway. Score remains at 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. 2.5 minutes remaining before full time.
Yeah, and again, I really like the way the Sharks are going about their business. They're just really strangling the Bulldogs at the moment. Obviously, they've got the game-winning lead and only a few minutes to go, but they just are staying to their processes. They didn't make a lot of metres on that last set, but they got the kick through, steadied their chase line, and have a really good defensive line set up.
Hayward to Galvin to Tupanua through a half gap. Tupanua still going, gets the pass away to Crichton. It went forward though. And called back by the referee Ashley Klein, who was right in front of it, alongside it, and so it's been called back. A minute 45 remaining. The Sharks 24, lead the Bulldogs 6. Matthew on the sideline.
Yeah, what about the Sharks' defensive poise and scramble for each other? It's been phenomenal this game because, like, the Bulldogs have only scored one try and it was not an intercept but off a kick that went the whole distance. But I don't think they've attacked poorly. I just think the Sharks' defence has been absolutely outstanding for the whole 80 minutes.
Hello to Davey in Sutton listening to the coverage tonight. 25 metres up from their own line. The Sharks to get a scrum feed. 24 points to 6. The Sharks lead the Bulldogs. A minute remaining. And so the Sharks have the scrum feed. They have possession. As the ball is taken forward by Mulatolo. He's caught 15 short of the halfway. Puts up slowly to play the ball back as it comes infield now. Very much in slow motion. Iro takes it forward now. Iro's caught by Salmon and put down 15 short of the halfway. And the Bulldogs fans in front of us pretty much leaving on mass at the moment. A pretty heavy defeat on the eve of the finals. And a lot of the Bulldogs players, as I say, really battling minor injuries by the looks of it. Already without a couple of key players. As it goes now to Hines, chips the ball over the top. Ball will roll towards the touchline. Going to be picked up by Tracy though. And Tracy cuts back on the inside. He's going to be caught. 21 metres out from his own line. 5 metres in from touch. And now Burton with a long pass to Crichton. Crichton looking to lift his team. Crichton's through. He's over the halfway. Caught by Kennedy. Through Kennedy's tackle, but Kennedy enough to stop him and halt his progress. He's dived on there by Burns. Siren goes in the background. That is full time. The Sharks 24 defeating the Bulldogs 6. Crichton on his haunches as well. Full time at Stadium Australia. And that's a real signal to the rest of the competition, I'd suggest, with the Sharks 24 defeating the Bulldogs 6. And the Sharks will play the Roosters next weekend in the first week of the finals. We'll go down to Matthew in just a moment, but an emphatic victory there for the Sharks over the Bulldogs. 4 tries to 1. And the Bulldogs try coming from a runaway on their own line. Let's go down to Matthew.
Yeah, with the Sharks skipper Blake Bailey, mate, we're sitting on the sideline talking about the intensity of the game. What did it feel like out there?
Yeah, it was a finals game early. We knew they would come with that attitude, and you know this atmosphere is like a finals game, and that's definitely what we got tonight. So they're a great side, and they're going to go far in those final series.
What about your defensive intent as a team tonight? What did you make of that?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously that one try that was off one of our errors. That's a great result for us. So we've been working hard towards that, and hopefully we can build on next week and take that momentum into the finals game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you take confidence out of that, and what do you really want to build on going into the semis next week?
Yeah, definitely hold on to that game. You know, it was a grind that start. There was a lot of back-to-back footy, which is what a finals game is going to be like. And I thought in those periods we came out on top. So it was a great sign for us. And we got Roosters next week. So yeah, it's going to be a tough week next week.
Absolutely, it'll be a tough week for you. What do you think your coach will make of that performance? Will be happy with the 24 or the 6?
Definitely the 6. You know, everyone knows Fitzy's a defensive coach, and I feel like tonight we scrambled for each other and worked hard for each other, and we could hold them out to only one try, which is a great sign.
Well, congratulations on an outstanding personal performance and team performance, mate.
Awesome, thank you.
Matthew Elliott down there with Blake Brayley, who had an outstanding game for the Sharks full-time, 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. And we are with you for the next half hour. The crowd here tonight, by the way, 30,368. And the Sharks scoring 4 tries to 1. They led 18-0 at half-time, following tries to Burns, Ramian and Brayley. Second half, Tala scored a runaway try for the Bulldogs to make it 18 points to 6, and then Atkinson scored that try for the Sharks about 10 minutes before full time. So 24 points to 6. As I say, real message to the rest of the top 8 there from the Sharks here tonight. The Sharks playing the Roosters next weekend. Warriors up against the Panthers. Melbourne taking on the Bulldogs, and the Raiders take on the Broncos. Back down to you, Matthew.
Oh no, hang on. The Sharks boys are getting together, so I just got the flick there. They're having a quick chat about what they want to do in the semi-finals there, and as I see Adam Fanua Blake just having a chat to his team about obviously what's important about the week coming up, so I'll get one as soon as I can.
Interesting too, the two teams in huddles at the moment. You've got the Bulldogs obviously reflecting on this defeat, and Stephen Crichton saying a few words to the rest of the players there, and I would imagine that they'd be licking their wounds because the Bulldogs would have gone into this game probably as the favourites. The Sharks have absolutely ambushed them with 4 tries to 1, 24 points to 6 victory. And a big crowd here, almost 31,000, would have been expecting the same too. And the line speed defence from the Sharks pretty much maintained for the entire 80 minutes. And they came ready to tackle the Bulldogs out of the game. Bulldogs really had no momentum in this game, it's fair to say. A lot of lateral, but very little in the way of forward thrusts. And as I say, that would be something that Cameron Ciraldo will be working on this week in the lead up to the first week of the finals, with the Bulldogs taking on Melbourne in the first qualifying final, second versus third. The Raiders-Broncos game likely to be played on Sunday at Canberra Stadium. Let's go down to Matthew Elliott. Matthew.
Yeah, with Reid Marnie here, Reid, that was a really tough game. I don't know if the scoreline really indicated how close it was.
Yeah, we went well at the start. We just killed ourselves and didn't put us in a good position to be able to tackle and defend well. And we were a bit off tonight, but probably it was high speed grind. But we didn't really get our end of sets right, and we paid for it tonight.
For sure. And what about, you had a chat there as a team straight away after the game. Was that talking about what you've got coming up next week?
Yeah, well, it's been a long year, mate. You don't ever want to feel like that after a game, but we've worked so hard to put ourselves in a position to be still in the comp next week, and we got to dust ourselves off real quick, and new different ball game next week, and we're all looking forward to it. And it's just about us just dusting ourselves off and getting ready to go against Melbourne.
Well, you're a player with really high footy IQ. What do you think the key things are you need to do to get that right?
Yeah, just keep getting forward, kick the ball well, and defending well. We were just too inconsistent on where we were turning the ball over tonight, and we were just a bit off. But I know what our footy looks like, and we'll be better for it.
Well, have a good week in preparation, and look forward to seeing you do really well next week against Melbourne.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Matt Elliott down there with Reid Marnie for the Bulldogs. He played almost the entire 80 minutes, given that Bronson Xerri suffered a Category 1 concussion inside the first 5 minutes. Marnie came on and played for 75 minutes. 24 points to 6, Sharks over the Bulldogs. If you'd like to have your say, 0467920222, 0467920222. Tim Gable, Matthew Elliott and Dean Hallitale with you tonight at Stadium Australia. And just in the AFL, in the elimination final being played in Perth, and the Gold Coast Suns 65 leading Fremantle 40. Gold Coast Suns 65 leading Fremantle 40. Earlier today, Hawthorn 107 eliminated GWS 88. Let's go down to Matthew.
Toby, mate, that was a tough game of footy through the middle of the field. How do you feel like you dominated that?
I think we just stuck together. I think we had a message before the game that we wanted to test our connection, test our resolve against we haven't played a top 4 side in about 6, 7, 8 weeks, whatever it's been. So it was a really good test moving forward, going into the finals, and I think what got us through that game was just testing our mettle as a unit. I mean, a lot of people have been saying we can't put 80 minutes together, and against a really good opposition, we did that tonight, and it was just little communications, little talks out in the field, and trusting in our process, sticking to our game plan for 80 minutes, and look what we can do.
And will that be something that you take into next week to start to try and really build on that combination like that, on that belief in each other?
Yeah, 100%, mate. We've been trying to do it all year. It's taken us 27 rounds to actually do what we wanted to do. So, look, it's a new competition starting next week, and that's a really good platform that we set. But we can't rely and think that it's just going to happen for us next week. We've got to look back, review what actually worked for us, look at the finer details, implement that in the next week, and that'll give us a good chance against the Roosters. It's the Roosters we're playing on, I'm assuming, yeah. Roosters. Rugby League. How good is it?
Well done. But so are you trying to share with us that the team really believes that you've got a lot of improvement in you between now and next week in that game against the Roosters?
Oh, well, look, I think our improvement was made tonight. So it's just now building that. It's just now replicating that, doing it again, and finding some consistency in our game. That right right there is all we need to do to win a game of footy. Exactly what we did tonight. So if we can do that against the Roosters, it'll go a long way towards winning the game.
And so what was the key to your preparation? What made that happen tonight?
We did our push-ups, we did our homework, we ate our vegetables. And that was what got us through it. Kids listening at home, do those three things, it'll win your NRL games, I'm telling you.
Well, you don't get better advice than that. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Matty. Thanks, mate.
Toby Rudolph down there with Matthew Elliott. A very insightful interview, as it always is with Toby Rudolph. 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. And as I say, an emphatic victory there for the Sharks. And yes, they play the Roosters next weekend, 5th versus 8 in an eliminator. Warriors versus Panthers in another eliminator in New Zealand. And the two qualifying finals, Melbourne up against the Bulldogs and the Broncos and the Raiders. And Dean, just your 3-2-1 in just a moment. SMS is coming through. Hope Maury's on the mend. His beloved Bulldogs haven't done much tonight, this SMS says. And Dion, nice to hear you all commentating the game. Up, bring on the chook, says Peter at Newey. If you'd like to have yours, say 0467920222. In the AFL, the Gold Coast Sun 66, leading Fremantle 46. Gold Coast Sun 66, leading Fremantle 46. It's a full time here at the Olympic Stadium, Stadium Australia. 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. Alongside me is Dean Hallertau. Dean?
Yeah, well, a strong performance, as you mentioned, from the Sharks this evening, and one that when we're hearing from the players there, that'll give them confidence going into next week. And I think it was summed up perfectly by Toby Rudolph there. That's the blueprint for going through to the finals on the type of footy you want to play. And they completed at 95%, which is enormous in any regular season match and finals matches. If you complete that high, you're going to give yourself every chance to win the game. In terms of the 3-2-1 for the best players on the field, I'm going to go 3 points to the Sharks. Number 7, Nico Hines. I thought the control that he played with tonight was outstanding. He didn't have to do too much. He didn't try and overplay his hand, but when he was asked to pull the trigger and come up with a good play, there's a number of line break assists that he came up with, a try assist, the one in particular to Billy Burns, we just drifted across through that nice pass, the short side raid where he put Katara away. Those little touches and a great kicking game gives him my 3 points. For 2 points, I want to go to Sione Katoa for the Sharks on the wing. I thought he was energetic all night. He diffused every kick that came his way, ran for 165 metres in a really strong winger's performance. And for my 1 point, I'm going to drop over to the Bulldogs and I'm going to go to Jacob Preston. He ran for 118 metres, 40 tackles, no misses across the 8 minutes. He had to move out to the centres as well and cover that left centre position for Bronson Cherry in the second half, and I thought he did admirably in that regard.
Good on you, Dean. We'll come back to you in just a moment. So Nico Hines gets the 3 points. Katoa and Preston pick up the 2 and 1 points from Dean Hallertau for players of the match. Tim Gable, Matthew Elliott and Dean Hallertau with you tonight at Stadium Australia. If you'd like to have yours, say 0467920222. And after listening to all the games through the ABC this weekend, the Broncos look the goods. Game of the week next weekend, Raiders up against the Broncos. Bring it on, says Jonesy the Knight. Into the third quarter in the AFL elimination final. Fremantle fighting back in Perth against the Gold Coast Suns. The Gold Coast 66 leading Fremantle 52. And earlier today in the NRL, the Panthers 40 defeated the Dragons 20 and the Titans, accounting for the West Tigers 36-28. And the New South Wales Cup, the Raiders 24 defeating Newtown 20. And that was the first week of the finals in the New South Wales Cup, while the Wallabies accounted for Argentina 28-24 in Townsville. But here at Stadium Australia, 24 points to 6, the Sharks over the Bulldogs. Now, earlier today, we had Quinton Hull, Luke Lewis calling the game between St George Illawarra and the Panthers. The Panthers winning 40 points to 20 over the Dragons, and that means the Panthers finished in 7th. The Panthers will now play the Warriors in New Zealand in the first weekend of the finals next weekend. Let's go now to Quinton Hull and the team for a wrap of St George Illawarra and the Panthers.
Tim, Penrith locking in a trip to go across the ditch and take on the Warriors, and they ended a 3-game losing streak as well, albeit a couple of them in Golden Point against the top-line teams in the competition. But they had their stars back and won by 40 points to 20 over St George Illawarra. It finished 7 tries to 4. Panthers scoring 4-1 in the first half, led 22-6 at half-time, and then 3 tries apiece in the second half. Penrith 40, St George Illawarra 20. Paul Alamotti scoring 2 tries for the reigning champs. Jenkins, McLean, Cleary, Papali'i and Smith also crossing. Cleary finished with 6 goals from 7 attempts. The Dragons, Flanagan, Allen, Sloan and Sue are the try scorers. Flanagan kicking 2 goals from 4 attempts. 17,442 in the house. Gorgeous conditions for a game, Luke Lewis, where all eyes were on the Panthers, just seeing how they would get going with their big names back in the team. It was a live kill today. They were expected to beat the Dragons. How did you think they went about it?
Yeah, well, my expectation was them to come out and just go through their sets, the old copy and paste set, get to the halfway, kick the corners and really sort of starve the Dragons of field position. I thought they'd done that very, very well. And then when they got their opportunities, they took it. Their skill out wide was brilliant. Scored some really nice tries. Got off to a great lead. Started slow in the second half, which is disappointing, but that was a massive win that was behind their back. I think it just took them a little bit of time to get used to that. Then when they found their mojo, again, a couple of more tries, some great football shown by the Panthers. And I still feel like they've got another 30-40% to go in their rugby league. So it's scary signs for the teams that they've got coming up in front of them in the semi-finals, and I feel like they've really got their DNA down pat and ready to rock and roll for the semi-finals also.
And it's going to be rare that they will go to New Zealand as the hottest of hot favourites. It'll be interesting to see how the Roosters Cronulla scenario plays out as well. So with the result here today, it's locked in as well that the Sharks will host the Roosters. But I get the feeling that, well, certainly the Panthers will go across the ditch as hot favourites, because it's a Warriors team that have won, only 4 of their last 11 games, and they've only beaten the Tigers, Knights, Dragons and Titans. So Penrith, it's a strange old thing, isn't it, rugby league?
They'll be in their heads already, Penrith, because the Warriors, first of all, going off the wins that they've had, they haven't been playing great football. Penrith have been there. They've won 4 grand finals back-to-back. They've been in 5 grand finals. They know how to prepare for these types of games. This competition now that's about to start is totally different to what we've just seen for the last 27 weeks. So having Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, and Mitch Kenny obviously in the middle there. You got Dylan Edwards. You got Liam Martin to come back. They got all these guys who've that much grand final experience. Ivan Cleary obviously. They're going to be primed and ready to rock and roll. So the Warriors' biggest thing is they can't play this game too early. They've just got to rock up and give it everything they've got, because I know this Penrith side, they'll take it so cruisy during the week. They'll know how to handle it. They've been in that many big occasions. It's going to be a tough one for the Warriors.
And Nathan Cleary got your 3 votes today as well. Moses Leota had a great game in the middle of the park. He picked up your 2. And Luke Garner, on his 30th birthday, got the 1. So 17,442 in to see it. Penrith 40, St George Illawarra 20. So the Panthers breaking that losing streak. They'll finish 7th and travel across the ditch to play the Warriors in a cutthroat final next week.
Thank you very much, Quinton Hull and the team there. And so full time, the Panthers 40 defeating the Dragons 20, and that means the Panthers move to 7th. The Panthers go to New Zealand next weekend to play the Warriors, first weekend of the final, 7th versus 6th. The Sharks will play the Roosters. They're the 2 elimination finals. The qualifying finals, Melbourne up against the Bulldogs, and the Raiders and the Broncos in that qualifying final. And as Michael Maguire, the Broncos coach, said earlier today on ABC Sport, that game will be played 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon in Canberra. And the Raiders certainly campaigned hard for that one. They believe there wasn't enough turnaround time, even though they've rested 11 players from tomorrow's game against the Dolphins. So Raiders up against the Broncos in that qualifying final. That seems to be the only one at this stage that is locked in terms of timing. 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon in Canberra. Full time here at Stadium Australia. The Sharks 24 defeated the Bulldogs 6. The crowd 30,368. And Dean Hallertau giving Nico Hines 3 points, followed by Katoa and Preston. So 3-2-1 there. So full time, 24 points to 6. Sharks over the Bulldogs. In the other game earlier today on the Gold Coast, the Titans 36 defeated the West Tigers 28. Here's Zane Bojack and Clinton Schifosky.
Yes, Tim, the Gold Coast Titans have given themselves a chance of avoiding the wooden spoon. All they need now is for the Parramatta Eels to defeat the Newcastle Knights, and thanks to their 36-28 win tonight, they go ahead of the Knights on for and against, and ahead of them on the ladder into 16th spot. While for the West Tigers, disappointment for them and Benji Marshall. They haven't won a final round fixture in the NRL since 2017. And 28-12 at half time, you thought, well, finally that drought was going to end. Wasn't the case. Didn't score a point in the second half, as star players, including the retiring Kieran Foran, the newly moved to left centre AJ Brimson, and Jaden Campbell, who just continues to kick goals. He finished with 6 from 6, and of course a double for AJ Brimson. Scored the first try, scored the last try. Kieran Foran going out a winner in his final game of NRL Rugby League. 318 times he was an NRL player, with a premiership in 2011 at the Manly Sea Eagles. Coached, of course, by Des Hasler, who finishes up tonight as well. The Gold Coast Titans, and those that are finishing up, they'll be celebrating tonight, Clinton, after a magnificent return in that second half.
Yeah, great work. Unbelievable that the Tigers didn't score a point in that second half. But full credit to the Titans. They played really, really well. They were led around the park by the retiring number 6, Kieran Foran, who was superb on that left edge. And AJ Brimson, he said in the interview with Travis Main that he was struggling to get the ball in the first half, but they found him in the second half and he lit it up. Keanu Kinney was good at the back. Cooper Bai come onto the field. He come onto the field with 30 minutes remaining. I reckon the plan would have been to give him 10 minutes, give him a taste, get him off. He went that well. They left him out there, the kid, and he tackled everything that moved. He made some beautiful carries. Nearly scored a try as well on debut. They found a really, really good player there, and a great way for the Titans to finish their season. Hasn't been the season they wanted, but there's something for Josh Hannay to work with there next year, and they'll go away slightly happy with that win.
6 wins for the Gold Coast in season 2025. It might help them avoid the wooden spoon, as we mentioned. Of course, Parramatta and Newcastle still to determine that. But the West Tigers, they now finish with 9 wins and 15 losses. And considering, Clinton, that 3 weeks ago they were a contender for the 8, they've lost to the Cowboys, they've lost to the Raiders, who they were very competitive against, and then tonight just didn't turn up in that second half.
Yeah, all 3 of those games they could have won. That would have given them 12 wins for the season, which would have been amazing. But they're another team. They've definitely improved this year under Benji Marshall, so full credit to him as well. They've got some young guys. Macassini made his debut tonight. He's going to go back to school at Newington College on Monday. That's absolutely bonkers and crazy. What an effort from that young man. So yeah, they've got some things to work with next year as well, which is exciting for the club and the Tigers supporters.
So the Tigers saw a debutant in Hermasi Macassini, who scored a try. We also saw Cooper Bai make his debut, the son of Marcus Bai, and we saw Carter Gordon.
Did okay.
18 Wallaby. He went out there as well.
Yeah, he made one bad error with a carry.